Hey everybody, welcome back to the Queen Stuff panel. Anyways, today we're talking about Belle Collective episode 2. Seriously, I was furious. I don't know, maybe because I'm from the younger generation, but some things that the women were taking in this episode, I was very confused. So, Gigi Nan, what did you think about the entire episode?
Well, it was pretty good, honestly. Although I do feel like So Gucci and Latrice, they really are like doing way too much. And Latrice coming for Latrice coming for So Gucci's marriage was kind of like, girl, are you serious right now? Like you should.
Hot
That's the
calling
last thing
kettle
you should ever
black.
say, honey. The kettle, the pot, the kitchen. Uh-uh. That was doing too much. You should not speak of anyone's marriage at all, especially after what we've seen last week and this week. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So now let's get into the episode. So we started off from the whole Cliff coming to like antagonize her because of she went out. Now, do you know so this guy dragged his wife out of the club, shouted, called her a bitch, called her a motherfucker for going out without taking permission from him. But then he comes back and then sits in the club with them. I was like,
The way he was standing over, like he was standing over her, like he was her owner, like she was a slave and he was the master. Like that was ratchet. And then he went and sat next to somebody that he didn't even know, and you're having a conversation just kind of eavesdrop. Come on, Cliff. Come on. That was just
that
too.
was the part that killed me. Like he was just sitting down, listening to what they were saying. I'm like,
The
dude,
way he was standing there looking at her mouth with every word she's saying, like, you better not say this. You better not say nothing. Like, oh, that was just, no, no, no. That
and
was
do you,
not right. There was
and do you
nothing right
notice
about
that
that.
when they wanted to talk about him sitting or him coming to like attack her because of she came to the bar, she was like, she's not letting you hear what you have to say. I was like, if you can't even
Right?
express yourself for what he's doing, that means she has no voice. If he's doing this in public, I can't imagine what he's doing in private.
Right. And then the fact that you're just standing there, you don't have a mic, you're not even a part of the scene, but you just want to be there to see what she's doing. That was
He was not
sickening.
mic'd
That was
up. So why was he there? Yes,
right.
I will
You
be
sitting
very
there with the drink, you're
uncomfortable.
babysitting this drink and your wife at the same time.
I will be very uncomfortable. And you notice that when Josh came in, I was trying to talk to him. I knew that yes, Josh was being quite sarcastic that oh, why is sitting down there? It was like, oh, you're not supposed to be talking to me. You're supposed to talk to only Latrice. It's like they're really
Why
letting
are
this
you
dude
even
get to
there?
him.
Right.
He's
What was the
being
point in being there? Like, there was no point of him, like, nothing. There was no conversation, that involved him. Well, I guess it did, since, his actions, that's what made it involve him. But other than that, like, it was her going out with her girls, and trying to have a good time. But then for you to come, yeah, Joshy knows some stuff. I'm going to say that. Joshy knows some stuff.
I'm telling you. And
Especially
this person
with him
said,
living there, I feel like he has seen more abuse than what we've seen.
Latrice is a confessional queen, but a slave in our marriage. Let's talk about that. Let's be honest. Latrice's mouth in the confessionals was like, she really had a lot to say about every single person. But speak about your marriage, girl. Did you notice she
Right,
didn't even allow them to talk about her marriage? When they asked about marriage, she was like, no, no, I'm not talking about that.
right, right. Move on. Next question. Yeah, like, come on. No, that is important because we seen how he did you at Bar, and that was very disgraceful, distasteful. And for you to sit there and say, well, I basically excuse it as saying because you saw your mother going through that and you feel like that's a form of love, you got to change that cycle, honey. you've got to get out of that, because if you're talking about having kids, this is what you want your kids to come into.
It's actually pathetic that she used her mom as an excuse, because I'm so sure that her mom told her that this kind of love, it's not the love that you want for herself. So you're like, oh, my mom struggled through a terrible marriage, and you obviously know. So you are then looking for a father figure. And I made the statement that that was the only reason, like seeing Latrice, it was very obvious why she married an older man. The only reason why this lady married an older man is because she's looking for a father figure in somebody.
Right? And for you to get a man that's so similar to your father, and you said that he is like your father, your marriage is like the marriage that your mother and your father had, and then for you to kind of throw your mom under the bus and say you feel like she stayed just because she wanted to be married, and that's what you're doing, that right there, I think you need to
That's
reevaluate your
toxic.
whole marriage. Like, you need to really rethink that, because how the reason why you went into that marriage was wrong. I don't feel like you went into it with the intent of actually having love and actually being with somebody that you can respect, that respects you, that you can actually grow with. Because this right here, this is a father daughter relationship. This is not a
And I hope
mutual
she doesn't
marriage.
have a child for this dude. I hope she doesn't have a child for this dude, because she's already acting like she doesn't know what's good for her. So if she has a kid, she's like padlocking herself to this man, and that's not ideal. It's not ideal.
Oh yeah, he's already controlling her now. So just imagine how it would be if she did have a baby with him. Just
Hmm.
imagine. Oh, and at first, remember, she said she didn't want to have kids. And then
Yeah,
all of a sudden, she started talking about having kids. I feel like that was him putting that in her head, like, yeah, you need to have a baby for me, because if you love me, like, he strikes me as that type, like, if you love me, you'll do this, instead
I
of it
think the
being,
reason why
actual.
I'm, I'm actually seeing it from another perspective. I think the reason why she wants to have a child now is because her marriage is doomed. Like she can
Mm,
see the signs, she can see that the marriage is not looking good. So now she's having
yeah.
this marriage as like a guarantee that, oh, most people say when you have a child, it's like a band aid. So she's using this child as a band aid for whatever reason best known to her. But girl,
Oh, so
you don't
you
need to
think
have a
that
child.
she's gonna try to have a child to try to basically smooth over the problems that they really have in their marriage, or feeling like that
Yeah,
is going to make things better. Yeah, I can see
yeah.
that. Yeah, because it doesn't seem like she really wants to address the real issues in the
She doesn't
marriage.
seem like someone that wants to have a child. She doesn't seem like someone that is ready for that. Because for you to have been mentioning that you don't want to have a child since season one, and now when season three, you are all of a sudden wanting to have a child, hmm, that's very
Hmm.
suspect.
Very, especially after what we've seen happen. Like, that's also very suspect. Like, that was a very intense moment. And now you're speaking of having a baby after, you didn't
After
want
all
one.
that,
Yeah. Mm-mm. No, that
mm-mm.
doesn't.
I don't buy that.
And I don't feel like that would be a healthy, like, that's not a healthy place for a child to be right now. Like, I feel like some things need to happen first. They need to get their marriage in order first before trying to bring a child into that
She
chaos and
herself,
dysfunction.
she's not normal. That sounds like a shame, but she's not. Why am I getting so many notifications? So yeah, this comment said she encourages her husband. That's why he does this. If she puts her foot down, she knows Cliff is out the door. That's quite obvious. Cliff already looks like he's ready for the next woman that would be like, oh my God, Cliff's word is the one that I need to take. Now, did you
Right.
this her conversation with Josh? Why was Josh crying?
You know what? I was hoping you could help me figure that out. I don't know. I don't know.
Because he
Because
never heard the conversation. So why was he crying?
that's what I was thinking. I was like, the way he's talking as if like Cliff said these things to him, to his face, or there was like a situation that happened that we didn't see. That's what I thought at first. But then when she said that she told you what
Told
happened and
him,
what was said. I was like, really?
dude, you're such a
Like
drama
he
queen.
done said kind of more than that. Right. He said more than that kind of when y'all were at the table in the kitchen. Like he said more to you then. Like I don't know. I don't understand why he was crying or even why she was crying. Like, but
See,
I kind of
my
understand why
point
she was
is,
crying because she knows that she's wrong and she knows that what her husband is doing is wrong and that's going to start affecting her business if she allows it to continue to happen.
and I want Josh to know that if he gets to the point that she has to pick between a husband and he, she's going to pick a husband because she's damaged. She knows she's damaged, but she's not
Absolutely.
willing to work on herself. And now, Joshy boy, he knows what he's doing. I hate the fact that, yes, like I've said this several times, that yes, what Josh is saying is correct, but I hate the fact that he's acting like a victim. He knows that Cliff hates his guts, but you are on here trying to antagonize this man. You already said it that you try to say things that will trigger him and it makes you like honey. You know that what you're saying is wrong. No, you know what you're saying is right, but your approach is wrong. You know that when you
Right.
confront
And
her
he did say
husband,
that.
he's going to be mad. And that's why he took out his anger on Latrice. That's why I keep telling people that when you know your friend is in like a terrible or in a abusive relationship, because obviously Latrice is being abused on and off camera. You know
Yes.
firsthand what's happening there. So the onus is on you to limit the amount of abuse she gets. So you go in and be like, oh, but the things you do, it's bad. The way you act is bad. He's going to confront Latrice. So don't act confused why he came at her. He came at her because of your actions.
Right.
I'm not I'm
Right.
not I'm not trying to excuse what he's doing. I'm just saying from like you are giving him an excuse to attack Latrice.
Right, because he's feeling like she's going back telling him things about their marriage, so that's going to come back on her, regardless of if it's coming out of Joshy's mouth. It comes back on Latrice, and that's who Cliff is going to go to. Because, in my opinion, Cliff being who he is and how he is, Cliff doesn't seem like the type that. Well, I feel like he would go up against a man who he feels is weaker than him, and that he could, basically. Um, Punk in a way. Like, so I feel like he would, but as far as like a real man, he's not gonna go up against them like that.
Yeah.
So
And the way he
he's doing
talks,
what he's
it's
doing to Josh
almost
because he
like,
knows he can get away with it.
yeah, he almost sees Josh like a sub male because of the way, like the old theatrics way he tries to speak. Because I'm honest, if someone comes and starts giving me like relationship advice, most likely I won't take it. And that's what people need to understand. When you give people advice, they won't take it till they feel like, oh, this relationship needs to change. So only Latrice can help herself. What you are doing, what
He will
you're
not change
talking,
things into
being
their
her
head.
mouthpiece, you are making her man angry and he's going to take out everything on her.
So true. So true. So and I feel like I think that's something that Joshy might be starting to understand. That's why he's not going to like he doesn't want to anymore. He doesn't want to be involved. He doesn't want to have any parts of it. Also because he knows that she's going to continue to take up for him and allow him to do the things that he's doing instead of putting her foot down and saying, I feel like they need to have a conversation of what boundaries are. But again,
But
Cliff
do
is
you
her
know
daddy.
what's funny?
That's not her husband. That's her
He
daddy.
came on
I'm
here
sorry,
talking about
Zaddy.
he came on here sorry. He said he came on here talking about, oh, I'm not going to get involved in this your relationship anymore. But as the season progressed, he still got involved. So mm,
Right. Like he's not gonna be involved for that moment. Like that's what it was.
because of they said something that hurt his feelings. This comment said she's using her friends as a mouthpiece, and that's pathetic. She knows they are saying the truth, but she's scared of losing her father figure stroke husband. Yeah. And this is where her mother should have stepped up. Her mother should have, like, as I wrote on Instagram, I said, the first step should have been seeking therapy, because now she's grabbing her straws, trying to look for a father figure where the father figure is not. And that's why she's relying on somebody that is abusing her. Because what she saw, she is replicating, because that's what she feels a man should do to her.
Yeah, she's feeling like that's right. And for her to throw her mom in there, is, oh, well, this is how my mom was. My mom liked it, and we're both the same. And, we do it because we want to be married.
Your
Okay.
mom
Just
is
because
not
you
the
want to be married
same,
doesn't mean
because
you need to
in
be
those,
married.
when people are looking at it, Latrice is about 29, 30. So in those days, women did not really have an option to leave. You have an option. Your mom and you are not the same. That's what she needs to get. Stop using this woman as an excuse for your terrible relationship. You are being abused, but you are protecting the abuser. This is one
Right.
simple thing that we've seen several times with women that are abused. They will protect the abusers. You may go to the police and be like, oh, this woman is being abused. You may report the abuse. But these women will come out there and say, no, I'm not being abused, and make you look foolish.
Right. And then she made the comment that basically Cliff is not funding anything, or at least the business wise. So why is he having so much effect on your business and the surrounding people around you if he's not, if you could throw up how he's not financially involved, and how a person who's not financially putting into your business can't mess up your business or whatever, but you're allowing this because that's zaddy. Anytime you call a man zaddy, let's just pin that there. Zaddy. Listen, I call my husband is my husband, okay? Now, in them heat of the moment times, of course some words come out. But I'm not about to be walking around calling this grown ass man zaddy. He would not even allow me to call him zaddy, first off.
Because she only calls
Because
someone a zaddy
she
if
has
it's like a
definitely
sugar
father
daddy or
issues.
way, way older than. Yeah, you have serious. Like, I understand that some people or majority of the Black community will have daddy issues. But then, girl, you're allowing yourself being abused because of daddy issues. This is serious.
It's
Like, this
very
is
serious.
serious.
And hell, and even if you want to call your man daddy, I'm not, knocking anybody who does, but at least let it be a man that's worth that. At least, like, because Cliff, to me, he's not worth it. And then to find out that he was messing
Insecure.
with JJ's ex-wife, that
Ooh,
just says something right there.
I'm telling you. Because she's giving him the power, she's weak. And yeah, she called her mom strong. She's like, my mom is a strong woman. I'm sorry. I hate the fact that people try to relate to women's strongness in staying in infidelity, staying in abuse, staying like it kills me. Why must a woman be strong? Why can't you be loved? Why can't you be soft? Why do they want women to be strong by force? Yeah, it's a sad, sad circle.
Very sad, and she definitely,
I
I,
don't
I think,
like,
needs to seek therapy.
mm-mm. She's not fit to have a child, because she's just going to, if it's unfortunately a female child, the circle is going to repeat itself. Cliff is an investor. That, yeah, he looked rich, especially when they showed his house, especially when they showed his house. Now, I think we've ranted enough about this Latrice, because I just watched a recent interview. That's the reason why I keep saying that nobody can help Latrice. I just watched a recent interview when she's like, oh, people are coming from a marriage, but they don't know what Cliff does for me. So I'm like,
Oh Lord, not another Letitia. Oh my
you
God.
guys should give up, stop wasting your care. Stop wasting your, oh my God, she's being
Okay, so if
abused.
we see you with a black eye, a busted lip, and half of your tracks pulled out and your edges missing, then do you
Pretend she
want us to
doesn't
stop
care.
saying anything? Because clearly we seen this man being physical with you. So if he is showing this on television, what is happening behind closed doors?
She doesn't care. And I think we need to take that now because she's like, whatever happens, happens. Like when I watched it, I legit thought maybe I was crazy. She defended him. And what annoyed me was that the host was not even doing anything to like take like, oh, sorry. The host was not even doing anything to call her out. She's like, oh, my marriage is perfect. People just don't understand what's going on. It's not that we don't understand. It's like you obviously know that what you are in should not be called a marriage. And she knows that. But now let's move on, please. I think if I keep talking, I may
There's
just like get
solutions.
mad.
No,
I,
right?
I would get mad. Now, so we go on. Let's talk about Soguchi, Selena, JJ, D, Asta. See, for me, I have to say that D is a better person than me. I have to say it. Nobody would make me feel like I'm not worth it. Nobody will make my life like terrible because my your dad decided to marry my mom. Nobody. Nobody will be colorist towards me, and you expect me to sit down and be cordial with you guys. Nah. So now
Yeah, no,
JJ is
I'm
talking
not gonna
about.
be kikiing with you, and you're making
I'm
me feel like
telling
that.
you. I'm telling you. So JJ comes on and starts talking about his daughter. Apparently, he found out his daughter was married and pregnant on social media.
Yeah, that
And
one
yeah,
right there threw me for a loop. I was like, what? Wait, but you always talking about daddy's baby and daddy's girl. Like, from what I've seen, JJ is a good dad. Okay, like I understand him
yeah.
and Selena had some issues or whatever, but that's kind of, I don't know. You married and pregnant, and you find out
Something is
about it
going
on
on.
Instagram. Mm-mm.
Something is going on.
First off, how do you get married without your daddy knowing?
And
And for
what
her to say
my
that she was
theory
the
is
one,
that, yeah, my theory is that when they broke up, because the way he described it, it's quite obvious that the breakup was dirty. And I think that the breakup was very dirty because it was very dirty. Obviously, the children are going to bear some sort of like hatred or animosity towards their dad and his new wife. But it's been going on for so long. So now they're like, because it has to be a conscious thought for your daughter to get married, to get pregnant. These are very big stages in our life. So she made a conscious thought to hide it from you.
and she said she did. She said when he asked her or brought it up, and he was saying how her boyfriend should have came to him, and she was like, "No, I'm the one who basically stopped it because they weren't in a good space." But how bad of a space do you have to be to be? Because Sanjay and the other sister isn't married. So you were the first one, and you're younger than Sanjay. So you would think like there would be some type of conversation, or at least something between Selena and JJ about,
So that means
their
your
child
father
getting
did not
married.
even get to vet this guy.
Not
Like,
at all. None.
it's
There
not
was,
making
yeah,
sense. Your father did not get to vet him. You got married. You posted it on social media. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, something about that just is not. That math ain't mathing, y'all. That math is
I
not
don't,
mathing.
yeah, I don't like his daughters. After what they did to Dee, she's definitely, yeah, as I said, she's definitely better for him. I don't feel sorry for her at all. Not to be self-sufficient and being like she knows it all. Her husband has no respect for anyone. Yes, Latrice always comes off as if she's self-sufficient, as if she's like the best, and that's a good mentality. But when you try to make other people look like they are not standard as you are, most people are going to lose the sort of like respect they have for you. So
But
I
you would
think
think that you
Selena
would be
was
able to turn
bitter
some of that
before.
into. No, so you
So
would
go
think that
on.
Latrice would be able to turn some of that, outward or inward with her husband. Like, keep that same energy with him. But yeah, when it comes to Gucci though and her daughter, I'm sorry, I would not be up in their faces. I don't care if we do have babies and all that other stuff. No, you were disrespectful from the very beginning. You were very, you know what I'm saying, discriminative in ways. So no, we don't have to be around each other. We don't have to be sisters. We don't have to be none of that. Like we can be at a distance.
I'm telling you.
You disrespect me once, honey. That's all it takes.
I'm not a nice person. I'm not that forgiving. I'm not that nice. I'm definitely not going to be smiling in your face.
Right. Oh no, can't be the fake.
But
Mm-mm.
look at these comments. I think Selena was bitter before. And as you said, the girls may be avenging their mom and alienating their father in the process. But these girls are way too old to be alienating a father that is very good to them. Do you know how many people wish to have for a good father?
Yeah, because he's definitely been there. Even when they were doing Bring It, when they were, dancing and with the dancing dolls and stuff like that. Like he was always supportive, even before they started, when it was Sanjay who was doing it. He was there supporting her. So I just don't understand where the communication is between him and Selena. Why couldn't they communicate about their child getting married? Because I feel like
Yeah.
Selena knew. Selena
And
had to
it's
have known.
so obvious because the way they were shading Selena throughout this episode, something is up. Something is up somewhere.
It's definitely up. And like I said, for it to come out that Cliff and Selena basically was messing around while she was still married to JJ, that's something. Is that place is Jacksonville just as small as Atlanta? Because it seems like it's some sharing going on.
That's why the men are still friends.
And
That's why the
that
men
is a
are
hot
still
ass
friends.
mess. That is a hot no. Mm-mm. Y'all sharing women and y'all still friends having drinks and eating jerky.
It doesn't
You know
affect
what?
them. That's the point. It doesn't affect them. So if it doesn't affect them, they
I guess
don't.
it helps out their notches, makes them more of a man if they share the same woman. That way they can go and take notes and compare.
That comment is still killing me.
That's what it seems like. It seems like they're like, hey, yo, you been with this one? Yeah, I've been with it. So how was it? Well, she did this, but did she do this? Like, no, what why? That just seems nasty.
And and the way they were so cool about it, I'm like, because I would be so bothered if I was to find out that my daughter was married on social media. I'm sorry. I would be very bothered.
Right. You couldn't even if you did get married and and all that, you couldn't call or send a text or something. He had to
Yeah,
find
you
out through
got
social
pregnant,
media.
heavily pregnant. That was when I found out when you're already heavily pregnant.
Heavily pregnant. Right. Not even like in the beginning. You were already damn near about to have this baby before finding out that she's even pregnant.
I'm
That is
telling you,
no, no. I,
that makes
you
it
know what? That
worse.
would really make me question my parenting and how, like, because he, is a good dad. So it's like, dang,
What's
what is
going
really going
on?
on for them to be like, no, this important milestone in my life, I don't want my father to know about it. Something,
I
yeah,
get. We're talking about so Gucci and JJ finding out that the daughter is pregnant and married on social media. I would actually quite like, I would feel like I'm a terrible parent. And I don't think that little chat that he just called her to the side. I was like, oh, let's have this talk about this. Let's know what's going on. No, no, no. That's not the kind of little chat. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call your mother. We're both going to sit down and we're going to get to the nitty gritty of why you feel I did not deserve to know that you were pregnant as my child.
right, right. And like I said, Selena, I feel like Selena knew. So she needs to,
So
answer
why
why
didn't
she didn't
Selena
feel like
tell
it
them?
was right. Right. Why wouldn't she feel like it was right to tell the father, like, hey, your daughter, you're about to be a grandfather, or, your daughter's married? Because as a man, you definitely want to know who your daughter is dating because you want to make sure that they're, the right guy for your child. You don't want to just,
Because
like you said, he didn't get the chance to vet this young man. She just, just up and did it. And even, and like she said it because she said she's the reason why he didn't meet at first,
what
because
if they
she chose
run?
that.
What if he's cheating? Just like hypothetically, he's cheating and they run in the same circles, and then you then find out after your daughter is heavily pregnant that this is the guy. I will not be happy with you, babe. I will not be happy. I succeed.
Hi. I have a thought about this. When people always make that comment about someone who we don't know, he's such a good dad. I remember a guy I worked with once said, like women would ask him, why are you not married? Or why are you not seeing anyone? You're such a nice guy. And as a guy, he even thought that that was like men, like women make that comment. Men don't make that comment a lot, just loosely to women. But as women, we kind of make that comment assuming that he's such a nice guy. And we don't really know the dynamics of the relationship, but just the fact that he has not seen his daughter for a while and she's that far along says something obviously is broken.
Yeah, there's something is going on because it, from what we've seen on TV and how he is, it doesn't fit with not seeing your daughter, not knowing what's going on. Something's not right when it
Yeah,
comes to
and
that.
and when she came, she was smiling. I'm like, but did you know that Dee made a comment? She was like, "Oh, I feel like I understand why the girls did not reach out. It's quite strict." And they just
Right,
glossed over that comment.
right. Yeah. Yeah, there's
Mhm.
something even broken with respect to that. Like, how the girls, like he said that they had two different parenting styles. And for him and so Gucci to be together that long and him to teach his daughters to be stars, to be sure of themselves, to be just very confident. And for him to be married to someone or even dating someone that doesn't give her daughter, that isn't looking at him saying, hmm, maybe I should be teaching my daughters to be that. And made a comment and he said that he felt like his daughters had to kind of dim their light because of how her daughters felt because they were stars and because they would be at the malls and they would be recognized. So that that is a
Right. His daughters were being very bitchy. They were being very bitter. They treated
yeah.
Dee terribly. It was not like he was just excusing his daughter's behaviors. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stardom went to their mind, to their head. They were young when it happened, and being recognized when you're out at the mall does make you feel like you're bigger than what you are.
Right, but
And
there
because their skin is a little bit, lighter. They definitely was using that shit, and I don't like that at all. I really don't like how they was
Yeah.
treating her. That was
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
rude.
they did treat her horrible. I mean, some girls can be horrible. They're no different from a lot of girls that are just mean, horrible, girls out there. And they were horrible. And but the mom did say specifically that she did admit her part, that she did not raise her daughter to be confident. And with a big personality like his, and with his, their mom, they definitely were taught to be confident, and just dancing in a group along, teaches confidence.
Right. Because Miss D she definitely taught that. So, but you would think that there would be some parenting styles that would rub off, especially with them being together as long as they have
Right.
been there. You would think that there would be, she would have picked up on some of that.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe she felt like she didn't want her daughter to turn out how his did, because with their attitudes, that it would turn you off too.
Right.
Like you could be confident, but you don't have to be cocky.
Yeah, but she did say that, though. She said she wished she would have taught her daughter, because see, something about her daughter still didn't feel like she was enough, and it's not just all them that was to blame for that. And she specifically said that she should have taught her daughter that she was enough.
Yeah, and that is something as parents we do definitely. Confidence does start at home.
Yeah.
It does, and it really does set a tone for how your children are. Now, what we teach our children, we can't always be there to hold their hand and make sure that they're following that as they're getting older. We just have to hope that what we teach them, they have learned, and that they do take it into life with them.
Right.
So
Because
I am glad
yes.
that she did admit to her part in that with her child.
Yeah, because
Well,
they
her
could
children.
heal. Yeah, it allows them to, you know what I mean? It allows them to heal, because it's kind of like her mom has now validated her feelings.
And it's a way for her to break that cycle as well.
Yes, exactly. But I also feel like as parents, they should have addressed the situation. They saw what was
Yes.
going on with those girls. And so we can't just hold, kids responsible, because kids are going to be what they're going to be. Those parents should have got a hold of them, sat them all in a room, said, we are a family now, and this is how this is going to be. We're not going to, talk down. We're not going to say these types of things are not allowed, and this is why. And this is how it makes a person feel.
Yeah. There should have been before it was blended. Before you guys decided to get married and blend that family, it should have been an understanding and a bond made beforehand. Because when you just, oh well, we're getting married, and you really don't too much give a care about what the kids think, because you're still in the mind frame that they're just kids, and you're the adult, so you're the ones who makes the decision. You need to at least get a full understanding and see where your kids are at before you start to introduce other parents or other people into their lives like that, because that can cause a lot of conflict, especially when they feel like you're doing their other parent wrong. This person that's come in and destroyed the relationship my mom and dad had, now it's this person's fault, when really that wasn't really the case, but there was no understanding about it. There was no conversation. There was no real like understanding of, this is why me and your mom aren't together, this is who I'm with, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I
And
never
it should
saw
have been,
them as a
respect
couple.
should have been respect.
Yeah.
You JJ and So Gucci.
I
It
never
didn't seem
saw
like that.
them as a couple, Selena and JJ. I watched Bring It, all of the seasons, and I know them from the show, but I never saw them, as a couple. So I don't know how young they were when the girls, I don't know how young they were when
Yeah,
everything
I think they
happened.
was already divorced, right, by the time Bring It came on, because I don't think they was together then.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. So I don't know how long that happened, but something is definitely broken there. And and I tell you, he is probably a great father to a degree. I'm gonna tell you all. I have a best friend, and he's a guy, and he is to a degree a great father, but to a degree he's not, because his wife has two daughters, and she's raised two girls and a son in their house, while my goddaughter has been raised by her mom, and she has struggled. However, their struggle has been different. And I don't know if that's, what the girls have seen as well. And I'll tell you, I'm a daddy's girl. If I saw my dad treating someone better than me, I would flip a table like Teresa from Real
Oh,
Housewives of Atlanta.
yes.
And I'm just going to be real, because my goddaughter, it was in Indiana, and her dad was moved to Tennessee, relocated, and he's there with his wife and raising her children, and he's at Girl Scouts selling Christmas trees, and I
Oh
and his
no.
daughter
See,
is here with her. You see what I mean? So
yeah,
situations occur, and I'm not saying that that was their situation, but how do we know that something like that did not occur? Because he does strike me as the type that he's going to be there for the daughter of who he's with. He's selling Christmas trees and Girl Scout cookies and everything. I'm
yeah,
telling you, I'll
and
flip a
that
table.
definitely. And you know what? That is so true. Because being a daddy's girl, listen, let hmm, you know what? I think that there was one time that actually was tried, and it wasn't even on my daddy's part. His
Mm-hmm.
wife tried it, and my daddy said, "No, no, we're not having this," and he actually divorced her. I said, "You know what? That's my daddy."
You see, so your dad handled
Yeah.
it. And I tell you, my best friend's wife is jealous of his relationship with his daughters, with his own daughters. And he's always been very close to his daughters.
See, and that I find disgusting too. When a grown woman can be jealous over children, like these are this man's blood. Before there was a you, there was these children. If you came in afterwards, because there are even
Yes.
some parents who are the actual parents of the children who are jealous of the children because they're getting more attention and more love, and they feel like they're the ones who should be getting it instead of the children. But there's something when it comes to JJ, there's definitely something that is not quite right, because for him to give off the persona of being that great father, how is it that your
Something is
child can
going
go
on.
without telling you about her being married and pregnant? These aren't,
Yes.
she didn't just get a new puppy. She didn't just, she didn't leave
Right.
college. She didn't, this is life changing.
Right. Now, another
And
part
you
of me does think she might have been embarrassed.
Mhm.
could be,
If she
could
was
be.
embarrassed, her mom should have spoken in her place. So it's like there's so much of a fractured relationship here for the mother not to speak, because obviously her mom would have known before she got married. But that's me.
Yes. I bet her mom knew she got married. Now, I don't know if her mom, like, did you tell your dad? At that point, at that age, you probably expect her to tell her dad. And, did you tell your dad yet? Or have you talked to your dad? Because he going to be mad. She probably said that to him.
You would think though, with them being the stars that they are, or you know what I'm saying, having the name that they do, you would think that you would want to televise that or let that be known. Like, you know, make it more than what it is. Like that just seemed like a shotgun. We're getting married because I'm pregnant, but we can't tell anybody until afterward type thing. That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting from that.
And she might
Yeah.
have
So
thought her
let's,
dad was going to try to talk her out of it.
yeah.
My daughter has
Because
been married
I
for
don't know, looking at the
years.
dude,
Yes.
hmm, I'm going to give my opinions
Yes,
sometime.
I can't wait to hear it.
So let's move on. So I'm starting to ask, why is Tambra in the show? And why do they keep giving her a whole scene? So Tambra had like I think they probably just wanted to show the homecoming, because I don't think there was any reason why this scene should have made it to the episode. Like nothing happened except the fact that
Right.
they were just thinking probably because maybe this dude was our main dude. But I just noticed the two. Demon, the demon, whatever they like to call him, demon. I've never seen this dude with Tambra ever, ever. Maybe
Just
because he doesn't want to have
once.
sex with
Right,
me.
except for the one time
Yeah,
where she said
once.
that they moved in for 2 months, but they haven't had sex in 2 months. So that means you moved in with this man to stop having sex with him. I still don't get it. Make it make sense to me.
They were at the party together, remember? Where that's the one time I remember seeing them together when they were at the party, and when they brought the designer or that person to say that, they were in a situationship before or something like that.
I don't
That
know.
is,
Like,
I don't
how
know.
would you
That's
have a man and nobody knows where he is?
I don't think that's a real relationship.
It's giving
I
Sheree
don't
and
think she
Mattel.
knows how to be in a relationship. The way things are going, it just seems like she's homie hopping. Like, I don't know. She's for you to have been in a relationship, then you was cheating on that relationship with Damon, and now it seems like you don't even really
She
like
enjoys the
Damon.
thrill of cheating.
Exactly. It was the thrill of cheating that she liked, and because that ended, and then now you ended up with Damon, you don't even really want to be with him. So now you're with Kwasi. I don't.
Yeah.
And then who is
I
he?
don't
Like
think she's
he's
with
your
Kwasi.
assistant?
They introduced him as an assistant because that was like, let me bring back the picture.
Yeah, because her parents
They
seem to like him a lot.
introduced him as a station manager.
Yes.
The dude is not fine. Like, let me just be honest. Facially, he's not it. And I think that's the reason why she's not with him in public.
I don't
That's
think
what
they're
I
together
thought.
either.
Like, why would I
This
want to
is
date
another
someone that
Martell and
looks like
Sheree.
this? Why would I want to date someone that looks like this? Let's be honest, please.
Yeah, I don't think they're in a relationship either.
He's not fine enough for her to cheat. I mean, if you want to cheat, oh, sorry, I take that back. Some people do cheat with people that are not fine. So, oh my
No, because you know what, and that is something that people need to understand. People don't normally cheat up; they cheat down. They don't. When people cheat, they don't normally cheat with people that they really are going to be with or want to be with. They cheat with people who are convenient, people who, you know what I'm saying, really don't too much care. They're not cheating with somebody that they're really trying to leave their
people that
their
don't
spouse for.
mind the fact they can get someone to date them.
Look, I'm trying to think of some people. I'll tell you all. I heard of a scandal when I lived in Florida, and I knew this older couple, and they were like so nice, and they looked like they had been together forever. And I remember someone telling me, well, you know what happened with them, don't you? And they were at this point, they had to be like in their 60s. I said, no. What? And they said, well, they were friends with each other, when they were both married to other people, and they ended up getting together, and I was really surprised. But I guess it does, happen sometimes. And now that I think about it, so I guess it probably happens in sprinkles, because I think of this couple, and then I think of a friend of mine, and she's very successful, and she her friend was Gail Sayers, the football players in Chicago, former football player's daughter, and she was very successful as well. And her boyfriend walked her to the parking lot. They exchanged numbers, start dating, and got married. So I guess it does happen. I could probably think of some cases where people did, and it did turn out, but I guess it does happen both ways, probably 50-50.
Well,
Yeah, but in that their case, I don't know. I just don't see that one. I don't know. Tambra
mm-mm.
just doesn't. I don't know. Tambra seems like she would be the one to do IVF alone so that she could, you
She's
know,
not
have
in
a
the
baby.
whole. She's not a person that will stay for any relationship.
Which
She
is
wants to be free like
surprising,
the bird. Yeah.
because she has parents. And most times, when you have parents that have been married for a long time, you tend to look
No,
at it a little differently. Um, well, depending on the circumstance, it depends on how dad, was really in the household treating mom as well.
actually. So now let's move on to the men's meeting. Oh, I've never seen so many delusional people in one place. From JJ to Cleve to Glenn. I was like, you know, when I listened to this conversation, I then started seeing from Soguchi's side in this whole Soguchi Latrice situation. Last week I was like, oh, Soguchi was not quick with it. But if you are my friend and you decide that you no longer want to do business with me, I think the least you could have done was probably sent me a text message.
I agree. A common courtesy.
Because if that happened to you, you'll be hot. And yes, on Soguchi's part, you can't just show me one building and expect me to like close the deal with you. She went with someone that was really there to do the business. But on both sides, they were quite wrong. On both sides.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And it to me, it is worth, if you're serious about doing business with this person. Latrice was serious. Okay, where are we? What are the next steps? Asking those questions, may have gotten her the result that she wanted as well, instead of, having half of a store space and having to kind of rush things through. And it would have also built a good, continued a good relationship.
Yeah. And this comment said the fact Cliff could not bring himself to tell the guy says a lot. He knows he sounds foolish. Yeah, when the producers asked him, why didn't you talk about what happened between you and your wife? He was like, it was a private conversation. That was not private. You were abusing your wife in public. That wasn't private.
Well, that was awful.
I mean, he called her a bitch. He called her a motherfucker. And he was screaming. It was even the way he pulled her down. Like, that was the one that killed me because I'm like, there's no way I would dress up, looking good, makeup, hair on fleek, heels, bags, bought drinks in the bar, and my man would come and push me and then like, oh, you're acting like a bitch, shouting on my friends. I would never go back to that bar ever, ever. But Glenn, I don't know. Is it that Glenn needs to be reminded what he did because he has selective memory? And from what Latisha said, she said he's still responding to DMs of different women. So it's more like the fame has gotten into his head and now he's pretending to be sorry.
Yeah. Glenn gives slick vibes. He's just a slickster. He wants to have his cake, his ice cream, and he wants to eat it too. And he wants Letitia to just kind of settle for it, go with the
Mm-hmm.
program.
Yeah, it seems like he wants the whole bakery.
You're muted. Let me hear.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost signal. Sorry. I said, but he wants the whole bakery. He wants the baker. He wants the
But
icing.
but the baker is still offering.
Yes,
I
that
mean,
part. That
Yeah.
part.
she just said she wanted and she went to get it. This is mixed signals.
Right. And then you get mad if he pop up. Girl, 20 something years of him getting that, and you still giving it to him regardless of if he's out
And she
here.
probably is the one that gives it to him the best.
That's why he won't go nowhere.
And they've
Can't
been
expect
together
to
a
give
long
him in.
time.
Right. What, 20 something years, right? Like a little
Yes.
bit over 20
23.
years.
So they have that bond, but it looks to me, and I may be wrong, like she's kind of outgrown him.
But she
Yeah.
also likes what he does to her in the bed.
She does, but it's still that part of a woman that
Because
we've
to
been
date, they are
together
not
all this
divorced.
time. Yeah.
She
Look,
keeps
she's
saying,
she's
I've
stigmatized.
outgrown
Yeah.
him, I've outgrown him, I'm better than him. My
Yeah.
girl,
Listen, she is stigmatized. Evidently, he is putting it down, and all it's going to take is for her to get something better, or
Correct.
either, on the scale of what she's getting, and it will make her. Matter of fact, she might be getting it. That's why she's on this verge of, trying to push away more and more because she's trying to
Right. She
get her
trying to
groove back.
right. Right. Stella trying to get her groove back. So she needs her a place in order to get that groove. She got to get out of mama's house. You can't get the groove and get the swerve on in mama's house.
you don't believe what you're saying, right?
I kind of do. She wants to swing from the chandelier. At least have
She
that
trying to
Swinging
feet.
do
from
wrestling.
his
She trying to do
chandelier.
wrestling moves.
Right. She done heard about it.
Listen,
She's on a TV show now. So you figure they're getting attention that they haven't gotten before. And she's getting a little bit more confident than she's had before in her lifetime. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I feel like
I
she
would be
she's getting that
surprised if she
attention.
leaves. I would be surprised if she leaves.
But
Sorry.
I want to go back to something you said about Cliff. Do you remember when Latrice's mom was on the show when she went to visit her mom? It was last season.
Oh,
And
No, what happened?
these were the
what?
exact words. I have them word by word. Her mom said Cliff reminds her of Latrice's dad. And she told Latrice that her dad was jealous hearted and that she couldn't go anywhere. And her mom told Latrice, you saw all that and you still married your dad.
Her mom should have gotten her therapy.
Oh,
And then yeah, but at that point, 20 something years. And then the mom went on to say to her, he wanted to give her a child, meaning Latrice's dad, because when she got ready to go somewhere, what she feels like Cliff wants to say to her is it's a mom's place to stay at home with the baby. And your dad is every bit of what Cliff is today. You have to do what makes you happy. That was the advice that her mother gave her. Now,
And maybe that's why she's scared of having a child.
yes, that is exactly it, because she knows that her mom has told her this, and her mom does seem to build her up as much as she can, but nothing could replace those daddy issues that a girl has.
no. So, and I don't understand why she would, even at this point now, after what has happened, even consider or even want to start talking about having a baby. This is definitely the wrong time to even have that thought in your mind. You need
I
to be
already
worried about
told
if
you
you need to
why she
stay in this
wants to have
relationship or
that
not.
baby. She wants to have that baby because Cliff has threatened her, and now her marriage is shaky, and she's like, the baby is going to be a plaster
Oh, she's
because
not gonna have a baby,
everything
y'all.
she's not. She's just practically telling him because the thought of it is is making him happy because like, oh, I'm going to cage this girl. Because if she doesn't keep telling him that or doesn't keep
Right.
obeying him, Cliff is out of that door.
Right. She has to appease him. She will
I
be
hope she's
somewhere
got a
getting her
prenup.
IUD.
I hope she's got a prenup or something because
He
he
most
just seems
likely
like,
would because he seems to be richer than her.
Yeah.
but throw Cliff away. Just throw the whole man away at
I,
this point. Because how do you go? You know what? I'm gonna hold that in because that just bothers me, especially on the
yeah.
OWN network. What we are seeing
Right.
as representation of black men or as
Showing
men,
so
period,
much.
is this is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. Can we actually get some real, you know, real good representation of what real black men are. Because this is not it. And we know
But
that.
OWN
There
is
are
going
actual good ones.
and they're going a different direction because you look at that show that came on with the family. Remember, they were a black family. They had the wine vineyard, and it was a good
They call it
show.
what's the name again? Oh shit.
They left us with a cliffhanger, like it was coming back
Yeah.
with the ant being pulled into a
They
car
they
and being,
they totally ended all their good shows. I don't
yes,
Right, right. All of
and
them. And
that
they
never
did it
came back.
abruptly.
Yeah, one season, and then we had the other show. Remember, with the realtors, they were women. And the one said she wasn't going to come back the next season, but all the others were supposed to come back.
and they ended it.
It's like they are going a different direction. They're almost trying to do just like um I hate to say, but like Carlos King type of TV, like Love and Hip Hop type of. It's like they're moving a different direction.
It's
Because
just
Ratchet
crazy,
sells.
man.
They are trying to sell Ratchet. And as if we don't already have, you know, this bad stigma against black people, black women, black men, period. This is what you want to show on television and to have represent us. They need to do
Yeah.
better. And I feel like if Oprah wouldn't have sold off so much of her share to the network,
It would
I don't
actually be
think a lot
better.
of this would be going on.
I don't think so either.
Now let's talk about this whole workout party. So Gucci invites the Belle to come for the workouts, and I was surprised that all of them showed up except what do they call her name? I don't want to ruin her name because it's always been hard for me to
Akeisha,
Akisha, yes.
Akeisha.
Akisha. Such a nice name. So Letitia comes early. Tambra comes early because obviously Tambra is trying to be in the good books of everybody, pretending and lying up and down. And then we have Latrice coming late. Yes, I'm not a fan of people coming late to my things. But what's the difference between Latrice coming late and Miss Bad BBL coming late? I don't know. What's the difference? But you legit treated Latrice like she's the enemy. You made several comments about her coming late, but your friend can come late. I wouldn't have gone back. I would have just turned back and left. Because that was very unnecessary. Kept saying, oh, you came late, you came late. But Marie came late, and you're like, oh, what's her surname again, sir? Marie Monroe
Oh
is yeah,
yes.
Marie Monroe, and we're hyping the girl. I'm like, if you are going to call out somebody, call out everybody so that you don't look like you are attacking somebody on purpose. And I don't know, Marie needs to go collect her money back from whoever did this BBL. It's it's terrible. It's terrible, please. It's
Oh
terrible.
my goodness. Oh my God. Why? Not that she need to collect that money back.
She need a refund.
It's terrible.
Latrice said that BBL and ain't BBL. It is not.
Telling you, like you can sight the BBL from the sky. It's terrible. Just look at it. You can see the difference between her leg and her ass. No continuity.
Right. But you need to, yeah, you definitely need to work that out. You don't just go get the
Yeah.
procedure done and do nothing else after. You got to maintain that
Right.
thing. That is
Yeah,
looking very unnatural.
she probably should have just went to So Gucci and got her some training sessions and then seen what she
And look
was
at how
left with.
Saguchi looks. She looks good.
Uh,
Because as a
oh my
big
goodness.
girl, I don't advise big girls to get BBL
Yeah,
because they
cuz
most times don't know how to have the whole thing to look good.
right. Yeah, that's why I said she should have did the 100, the squat challenge app, because I'm gonna tell you all the truth. I used to work downtown Chicago and I got off the train and I am into men only. But as I looked at women's butt, it was like the Blob, and I was like, oh my gosh. I went home, I downloaded my app with the I'm so serious. I downloaded the squat app, and I started doing the squat app, and it works. That squat app really works. It rounds and it lifts.
Pain
It's
is
amazing.
beauty.
It hurts, but it works.
Tell you. Because when I saw her walking, it didn't even look like it's bigger than last season.
Yeah, no. I didn't even realize it until you said it actually. And I'm looking and I'm like, you know what? I knew something was different. I just couldn't figure it out.
She must have added it for this season because it looked
It
really
makes
new.
her look ill built.
Yeah, it does.
Like that, it just it makes her the way she's just looking at her right there. Just she just looks like, you know how they have them paddings in the pants for like if
Yes,
you
I
don't
had
want
them
to
in the
get the BBA,
biking
you just have
shorts.
the.
Wait,
That's what that is.
you know what? And I tell you,
Why?
when they're going to be on TV, you know, you think about when you're with your friends and you're like, girl, don't take a picture of me. I'm not ready for the camera. Wouldn't you think if you knew you were going to be on national TV, girl, let's come over. I'm going to do the 30-day, extreme fit, and do your workouts and get your workouts in at least 60 to 90 days before you know you all are going to start shooting? Like, you're not going to be on TV?
Hold on, y'all portraying like y'all are these like. Now, I'm not saying y'all are not beautiful. Y'all are very beautiful, but you cannot stop at the face, babe. It's let's work this way down, okay?
Yeah.
Don't
They're
just put
going
on
to
your
look
makeup
like
and
this.
beat your face and you have your wigs looking right and your body looking like you just came out of like a Build-A-Bear workshop. Like this really looks like a Build-A-Body.
Yeah, that's it's horrible because that's what they think it's. Yeah, they just needed to. And I tell you, if I was the station, I would have a class. I would have classes for the ladies. We're going to start shooting, and we don't want people we got to look good for the people.
And honestly, I
Right. So
still
Gucci, you got
cannot,
this boot
sorry,
camp.
I still cannot pinpoint Marie's problem with Latrice. I'm sorry, maybe
Latrice.
I've forgotten, but I
Gucci.
just, yeah. No, Marie's problem with
Marie.
Latrice.
Latrice.
Yes.
They still been mad, and they said that season, that production cut it and made it differently, but it's been over that hair and them both going at it about it started with hair, and I don't even remember anything. They got over that, remember? They
Yes, I just can't
supposedly.
pinpoint why you are still mad. I get that.
Oh, she
You won't.
brought that woman to the reunion to try to get that bad information. That's what it
Oh,
was. And remember,
but
she
don't
tried to.
allow somebody know that you affect them. That's my
y-
principle.
right. Yeah, remember Latrice brought her friend who brought her friend to try to look up
To try to,
information
yes.
correct
That
on
was
to two
actually
of them.
shady.
Yeah,
Very,
the two of
very
them.
unnecessary.
And with her being on a show with all black women and them starting off telling her about the struggles with black women, to me, at the end, she didn't get it. She never learned anything.
Well, can we say that she has learned anything? Look at her. Look at Zaddy. What has she learned?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because clearly her mom, she didn't learn from her mama. She didn't learn from her daddy. So she damn sure ain't gonna learn from anyone else. It don't seem like, because whatever she's learning on her own is it's not working. Only thing that's
No.
probably working is them extensions. Them now that goddess
Yeah.
hair girl. Now listen here, I will tell you, girl, she got something with that.
Right.
But that other,
Yeah. It's sad. It really is.
go
It's
cliff
sad.
off the cliff.
But I think she's going to find herself, you all. I do. I think she's going to find herself. And I
I
think
don't think
she's
she's
going
going
to
to find herself.
pull
It might
herself out
take
of
for
that.
this show. It might take for her to actually like look at these
See
episodes.
herself.
Look at
Correct.
yes, see what's going on in order for
She
her to be like,
is
you know what,
seeing
I do need to make a
herself.
change.
You see, I had hopes. I'm not going to lie. I had hopes that
Mhm.
Latrice was going to notice and see that she's looking quite ridiculous. But watching her recent interviews, I've given up. I've given up.
Yeah, she still takes up for him. But
Yeah.
that's an
Yeah,
abusive,
she's
isn't that
giving
a
an
sign of
excuse.
abuse?
Absolutely.
She's brainwashed,
Absolutely.
and at this point, she's like, I need to protect his image so he
Yeah.
doesn't come for me at home.
Yeah.
But
What
guys,
does she
let's
have
talk
over her
about
head besides the fact that I feel like he physically abuses her?
yeah, he does. It's quite obvious. Nobody needs to pretend that he doesn't physically abuse Latrice.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious. But Tambra, did you see the way she made the whole thing so Gucci's fault?
Mm-hmm.
The lady said, oh, okay, so for the whole party she threw, the ladies did not get the invite. And then she's telling Letitia that the reason why she didn't send the invite was because she told Soguchi to invite them. And they played the tape and she only invited Soguchi.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could call Marie, why couldn't you call the others?
Right. Right.
Do they not understand that this is recorded so there's video that can go back and see what you said? Girl,
Right.
you yourself said that you contacted everyone. You contacted them. You
Right.
didn't say nothing about So Gucci contacting anybody. And if it's your tailgate that you're hosting, why would somebody else have to spread the word for
Exactly.
you?
Like, yeah, don't they have group texts? Usually that's how they communicate on these reality
With the
shows.
way they hate themselves, I doubt.
Yeah.
Right, you would think. But didn't she say something about I guess Marie feeling some way because she I guess it was said that she was told her that she didn't want to be in the group chat unless Marie was taken out of the group chat or
Right.
something.
Yeah, they have group chat because that's all these shows have group chats.
But it looks like nobody uses that group chat.
Right. They
There
use it
is
for
no
what they
group
They're
to
want to use
chat
always
it
in.
on.
Don't
they're always like, I contacted you, you should have contacted me separately. So definitely they do not use that group chat.
Right. Yeah.
absolutely not. These women are honestly petty as hell. Very
Yeah, they
petty.
are.
If
They are
it's
real
something important,
businesses, but they petty.
petty. But listen, I'm gonna tell you, their storyline is still better than Love Marriage Huntsville, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, they have real businesses, better businesses than they do, you know, the Scots and those have, but they petty.
Those scamming Scots.
Uh,
Hold on. I'm
And
gonna
the
say
sad
something about
part,
that real quick because I told everybody, I told y'all they were scamming. I told y'all they are some scammers. They are just trying to get people to pay their bills. Oh, broke tails.
making it sound like they wanted to help people who are homeless, like the whole speech, trying to like, I'm like, I see you guys, the fake ring.
yeah. Yeah. I'm like, do these ladies even like each other?
Nah, they didn't.
They're no,
It's quite
no,
obvious that they don't.
no. It's like one of them likes one person, but
Right.
then they don't like the rest of the group.
It's
Like
like,
So Gucci
nobody
yeah,
likes
likes
only
Tambra except
Akeisha.
for So Gucci.
Nobody likes Tambra. So
yeah.
Gucci is just condoning her presence. Nobody likes Tambra.
And so Gucci likes Akeisha now.
That's the only person for now, actually,
For now, right. But that could change. Because she
depending on
did
what
say, oh,
Akeisha
she at
says.
home eating her pig ear
Yeah,
sandwiches.
I realize that Akeisha is filming less and less since this season. This is episode 2, and we've only
Mhm.
seen her for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So, but okay, so I kind of, I'm 50-50 with Akeisha. But Akeisha does, and I did say this on another blog. Akeisha reminds me of that person in corporate that takes your idea. The idea of
Ooh,
this Ferris Street was she made what's her name? See, with Letitia and Letitia, these names have me. What's her
I
name?
call her Letitia. I didn't even bother.
Yeah, so the LT on Belle Collective, her idea.
Right.
This was her idea. So you might have came in, you may have, because you had the resources, because you've done it in a big state, because you have the people behind you, with your husband being a former player, to come into this town where you were in. But the point is, that was not your idea.
At
Your
all.
idea was not to come to your little town before. So now you want to shade my idea and shade the fact that I don't have no money.
But if it wasn't for my idea, you wouldn't be having what you got going on when it
Correct.
comes to my idea.
Correct. And it's kind of like, as women, can we not, you know what? Like, why bring up the fact that she doesn't have money? She had a great idea. Let's
That you
stop at
stole.
that. Yes, exactly. Like, because who's at the end, all everyone is going to say is, oh, Ikesha did this. Ikesha has this strong personality. No, she is a
It's a thief.
bulldozer. She stole an idea, just like some people do in corporate, that will be sitting right. I saw it happen. I worked on a team and a lady stole one of the people on my team's idea. She changed the PowerPoint, just added pictures. And the
That
person I
thing
worked
can
for,
be
she was
so
upset.
painful.
Yeah, she plagiarized her work. People do it. It's happened to all of us in some way. And that's what she's doing here. But she's doing it like, and she keeps saying, I have the money. I have the people. Okay, so keep talking in this eye, but you didn't have an idea.
It's very
Yeah, it's giving. I don't know
very
this.
yes.
Which one
So
of
now
y'all
let's
got
go to the
Barry White over there?
Oh, you heard my husband?
I heard her husband sounded like Barry White. He wanted everyone on the chat to hear, she has Barry White over here. Practice what you preach.
Oh my god! Oh my
Oh, I
She
guess you
keeps
might as
on
well say
telling
hi.
me this
Say
and
hi.
telling me that. Hi, Barry White, sounding wonderful husband of our YT friend Queen.
I thought that my mic was on mute, and he was right there in my ear. So yeah. Oh,
Look,
that is
look,
hilarious. You
doctor.
said Barry White.
Doctor, she has that Barry White sounding husband. How she think his voice goes through mics,
Right.
muted
It goes
mics.
through mics and headphones and everything. That's that. Yeah, that's that Barry White right there. And
That's what made her say I
he's
do.
exactly. That's one reason that I said I do.
She said, "Oh
I was
yeah,
like, yeah, I got to hear that
I
voice
think I
every
can
day.
make it on Friday. You know what? I do. You know what? I have to cancel. 3 dates, but yeah, I think I could make it."
You know what? You keep on talking like that, and I think that we can make this work.
Right, right, right.
That is so funny. You guys got him over here blushing.
So now let's talk about the final scene. Anyways, so I don't. This
I know that's funny.
baby
Oh my god.
was so disorganized. I won't come to your party. I'm sitting for over 10 minutes and I've not gotten food. I'm sorry. Mm-mm. Hell no. Hell no. But I have to say, there's some comments I need to make. It was weird that um Latrice came as Selena's friend. I think this is what Latrice is not understanding. If I'm your friend and I'm being invited by the ex-wife of your husband, the littlest thing I would do is to send a text message. I'm starting to understand, is it that these women do not understand what friendship means? Because a little heads up, oh, I'm going to be here. Selena invited me. I know you guys don't have a good relationship, but I'm going to be here for Selena. Full stop. She didn't do that. Even this other lady, Tambra, I was confused that she too was also there. None of them could send a text message to Soguchi. And you guys are in the same collective. Why?
But y'all all putting it
But
on
she did you
Selena
good
as though y'all
though.
are all there for Selena. Like
Selena,
it was
you
because of
good
Selena.
though. Selena is a hot babe.
Listen,
I
Selena's
like
BBL was
Selena.
better than Marie.
Yeah, I've always liked Selena. I'm partial because I watch Bring It, so I like Selena.
Right.
But let's stop at the fact that Selena slept with Latrice's husband.
Oh Lord, I already.
Okay, let's just
Uh.
moonwalk, do a
Cliff
Michael
must have
Jackson moonwalk
Cliff must
there.
have some moves. Cliff must have some moves. His mouth must be sleek because I don't know what would make me sleep with Cliff.
Yeah, but that was probably 20
Ooh,
years
that
ago,
man's got to be
remember?
slicker than the oil. Well, yeah, because you got to think. Because what they say, it was 2 weeks after him or Selena and JJ got married.
Yeah, so
That
that's about 20 something years ago. He was
yeah,
young then. Maybe he looked
It must
he,
have been
he
a
yeah, he didn't
catch.
have that belly.
right.
She always talking about that belly.
Oh, child, she need to be talking about more than that. Because
So
honey,
let's stop at that. What woman would invite, oh yeah, girl, come on. I know you were my husband, but that was years ago. So come on. Like,
right? Let's be. That's what I mean. I don't understand. Like the guys were talking about it, and it was all cool, and then you seeing Selena and Latrice, and they talking about their friends instead. I'm sorry, I'm not finna be friends and all up in your face, knowing that you done sat on my
right,
man's face.
right. Like, no, no.
And then Latrice was being all
Mm-mm.
sleek in the confessional saying, oh, so Geechee needs to be worried because of what's his name again? JJ is in love with
JJ.
Selena, and
JJ,
then he needs to do some kegels. JJ does not sound like he's in love with Selena.
No.
JJ loathes Selena, and it's very obvious. He
Yeah,
hates
no.
Selena. He's just condoning her existence because of his daughters.
Yeah,
right.
I think they're definitely done.
And Latrice need not speak a word of anything of a marriage of
Girl, you're
anyone
getting buttoned
else's.
up in the face.
No, your husband was with her. The tree guy.
Your son is pretending to be Floyd Mayweather with you. What are you talking about? Like,
Right.
ugh.
No.
She has
This man
bare
stood
pussy
over you like
cry.
an overseer. He was an oppressor. This man stood and looked at you as if you were his child going out for the first, just like she said, she felt like she was a child at the school dance and her parents was right there next to her because that's exactly how he was looking at her.
Right.
Like, you better not say
And
Exactly.
do you
nothing, you
know
better not look a certain way.
when they asked her about her relationship with Cleve, she's like, "Oh, we're not gonna talk about that." So it's
And he
like all
said the
this kind of
same thing.
argument. Yeah, it's like all this kind of argument that you know that someone is obviously wrong, but because you want your marriage to like just go on, you're just like, well, let's forget about it.
Right.
The more you forget about it, the more these things keep repeating, and the situation that you keep saying, "Oh, let's forget about it," it's going to keep being there. Some people just think that, oh, if I just cover it, I will move on, it will be fine. Is he going to go back and attack you one more day that you do not tell him where you're going to? He's going to alienate you from your friends. He's going to alienate you from your family. It's
That's true.
I
Because
pray she
that's the
It
never
first
gets
seems
thing.
like
pregnant.
that's what's happening
That
already.
is for the friends, because that's the first thing that an abusive person they say will do is try to, and you see that even because my heart goes out to the guy. I can't remember his name, her friend, but he was totally
Oh, Joshy.
inappropriate. But we know cameras are going. So we know that it is lights, camera, action. So he is given more for the camera. But as inappropriate as he was, he has seen some things. She has told him some things. Then he got to that house and he saw some things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like he has seen a lot since living there. Now, what was said
Yes.
before that, before he started staying there, I felt like he might have went off that at first, but once living there and seeing that, no. And then we saw it. So what you can't really hide what's going on. There's no hiding. That situation is very unhealthy. It's very abusive. And until she's ready to get out of it and actually, change her life, she's going to stay. She's going to keep making excuses for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if she did end up having a damn baby for him just to be, thinking that was
I'm
going to
telling you.
help something.
They've messed her up. I think between the dad and him, they've messed her up with the thought of having kids. And I hope that she um, doesn't let time go, because she's one of those people like a soap opera where she'll still be taking those birth control pills. Baby, I don't know why I'm not pregnant yet.
But the problem is that
Yeah.
she would never leave if she doesn't get help. And
Yeah.
with the way it's looking, she doesn't seem like she wants help.
But
So
sometimes reality TV is help.
I keep telling people, do not get in between lovers quarrel because they would use you to reconcile. See how
Hmm.
she used Josh to reconcile with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Her
Mm-hmm.
husband then used Josh as an excuse to attack her. And then she's
Mm-hmm.
using Josh, trying to warn Josh in a way, sort of so that she will not have to like comfort her husband. Then she'll go meet her husband and be like, "Oh, I finally talked to Josh, so Josh will no longer come at you. Josh will know what he says, and then she's fine." I'm not going to death for anybody's marriage. I'm sorry. I have my life to live. I don't
Right.
care how we are close, how we even if we were bet together, I would not put my head out there for you till I see that you want to actually live.
Yeah. I don't get in people's business either. I'm like that.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you, I had a friend and she had a boyfriend and they had a toxic relationship. And I had never seen him attack her, but I always thought, why is she with him? Because they just seem to have like a verbal, just a toxic relationship. And one time she and I went out and he didn't like the fact that she had on leggings. You all did hear me say leggings. Leggings. And as we were leaving this club, she was in my car and he was trying to pull her through the window and fight her through the window of my car. And here I am
Wow.
trying to hold her with the other hand, trying to steer and pull off at the same time. And then this was the first time I ever said to her this. I said, "Why do you think that this is all you deserve?" And I tell you, she did leave him eventually after that. And she's, been married now for years. But at a conference, she did use what I told her as an example. So me saying that to her, and I'm not one that like really gets in people's business. I just don't. I get it only in reality stars business like we're doing, and but not, as far as personal relationships, I just don't. And so with Josh, my heart goes out to him because it's enough being him. It's enough being him, being
A gay
person,
man and
yes, that
everything.
is trying to navigate himself and discover himself and to defend himself. And what we're seeing is him trying to defend her because he's always attacked. And so usually what I find is sometimes when a person is like that, they go harder for you. And I think that's what he
Yeah.
does. And that's why he's so hurt and broken by her. She didn't say anything. She didn't defend him, and he would have defended her.
He
And
does
that's why
defend
you
her. He
do
tries
not
to defend
have
her all the time.
Yeah.
their relationship is not equal. He's like
No.
pulling all the weights for this
Right.
relationship and she's
Yep.
using him. First, she's using him to
Yes.
speak, she's using him to defend herself,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's using him to reconcile with her husband too.
Right.
So Josh is in a precarious situation. That's why
Yes.
anytime he speaks and it goes hard, I'm like, dude, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
That's how it comes off to me. Like you're
Yeah,
doing
because
too
at the end of
much.
the day, She's not going when it
She's not
comes
leaving.
between her and Cliff. She's going to choose Cliff. She's not going to come to your defense like
Every
that. She
single
might come to your
day.
defense afterwards, just like she told you what happened after the fact.
And
But
she'll be
when
like,
he was
oh, I'm
talking all that
sorry
mess and
about
pulling on her, there
this.
was no defense.
But you know what? Isn't that hope that we have with our friends? I remember Dr. O'Shea when you were talking about your situation with your friends, and you kind of hoped that they would be friends and be there for you. It's that hope. But then once they showed you who they were, then you saw them for who they were. But initially, I think we have that hope because we've all had one-sided friendship situations before, and I think we sometimes have that hope that our friend is gonna someone is gonna stand there and defend me and be there for me, and really it be a balanced friendship.
To be honest, I
Yeah.
used to be like that. I used to be like, when I was still quite younger, I used to be the kind of friend that if you want to fight somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you just need to call me.
Oh, really?
I'll go and fight for you.
Right.
Then as I started growing
Right.
up, I'm like, damn, I get to fight my own battle, then I fight your battle, and then there's nobody fighting anything for me. I
Yeah,
started understanding that if the relationship, I don't even need the relationship to be like 50-50. I just wanted to reciprocate my feelings a little bit. Because, yes, it's not all friends that would go and approach somebody for you, but at least
You
respect me, reciprocate my feelings, defend me when someone is saying something that you obviously know that is wrong. I hate friendships where I am giving, 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 because Josh is giving, giving, and it has gone to the
mm-hmm.
extent that it annoys people to see, because to me, trying to get her husband mad, trying to get her husband to react, it pisses me off because I've been in that situation and I know that what you're doing is not good for her, neither is it good for you.
I agree.
No, and you can't keep pouring out from your cup. You can't empty your cup when you're not getting it replenished. If you keep on giving to people and you're not getting anything back, you're just going to be SOL. You're going to be in a worse predicament, and they're going to be sitting there filled, full, fat, and just happy while
And
you're sitting
And
there
do you
trying to
thirsty.
know?
pick your
And
life
you know
back.
what's
Right.
funny? When she was talking to Josh, she started crying. This girl is not happy. Like, she is not happy at all. If you have
She
to talk
said she
about your
wasn't.
husband and cry every single day, girl, you are still
And what
29.
you
You
talk
don't know
about isn't happy
exactly.
situations. It's not like what you guys talk about or like, any conversation that you have about Cliff, there's no happiness, there's no romance, there's no, oh, well, me and my husband, we went on vacation, or he bought me flowers, or he just told me that he cared. Oh, he can't, like there's no happiness with it. It's always a mess, and it just seems so depressing whenever she talks about him.
That's because he's a gray cloud.
Ooh, yes, he is.
I haven't seen romance since he left her on with the romantic dinner and left her with him rolling away with the golf cart.
Because if you
No.
see the other Belle's marriages, at least all of them are having like such big conversations. Like, just look at, as much as I'm not a fan of like so Gucci JJ, you can see their marriage. There's obvious respect from both sides. It's always doing things, always cracking her up. I've never seen Cliff crack one joke.
Yeah.
One joke. I'm not even asking you to do too much. One joke. I've never seen him do that. So how
No.
is she comfortable in that
No.
marriage?
He's old cat daddy.
It only seems
Is
like
a
he's happy when she's miserable.
daddy. Is a daddy.
It's daddy.
He ready to sit in
But
his
Daddy.
daddies are
recliner.
always funny. Daddies
They're
are
t-
always funny. Nobody can
they're two
tell me
different
that.
places. He's in a recliner, he's
Right.
ready to sit there and recline, and she wants to go to M bar
Tell
and have her
you, she
martini.
wants to party. The kind of guy that is actually for Latrice is someone that is emotionally matured, close to our age, and
Right.
probably someone that's healed from something, from the whole father issue that she suffered, because then the person being able to help her navigate her feelings. The fact that she's with someone that is ancient, that doesn't even just kind of
Like
We need
Cliff needs to be in bed by 6 and rub down with
correct
Bengay before he goes to bed.
and some warm
That
milk.
is not right. That is not what
and
Latrice
as you
needs.
spoke,
That's
I
not
keep
where Latrice
remembering the
is.
fact that he was talking to a random person in that bar.
Right,
Right. Just sat.
right.
Wasn't even really talking to him.
His
Just
lips were just
sitting
moving. He
there
just,
eavesdropping.
he was just trying to he was trying to intimidate her. He used his tactics to intimidate her. So when he didn't get her attention, he was strolling like a cat, if you notice. Then he started strolling. Then he still didn't get the response he wanted. Then he moved in and he sat at the booth. He wanted her to come over there. He still didn't get what he wanted. So then he had to act a fool.
And do you know that when Josh is there, she gets some form of like courage.
Yes, that's her
Because
courage.
that's her mouthpiece.
Yes.
She's a confessional gangster. Like
Yes.
she be up in that
In the
confessional like she is going to right. She be going like she is really going to do that thing. But then when it comes to Cliff, she just she becomes recluse. She just oh my god, she
But we
really
know
does revert back to being a child.
we know what reality TV has done to women. And I'm telling you all, my thoughts are Latrice is gonna look at this season and she gonna look back and her mother's gonna talk to her and they gonna talk and she gonna look back and she's gonna meet someone that is totally different from Zaddy and she's gonna start getting her business in order and she's gonna be gone. And Zaddy gonna be there with all those acres by himself, period.
I feel like this is the
But you
season
know
of
he's just going to look for
Jordan.
another younger lady.
He will. And that'll be fine because he not gonna have the energy to run up after him after that. I can't see baby in the dark. You know I can't drive in the dark. He's not gonna be able to do all of that.
Isn't he close to 70?
Yeah, I think he's up there, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's up to, because the way he moves, because I know Glenn too is also older, but Glenn can actually move his body.
Right. But
Even JJ can move some moves, but he just walks
Cliff
like a
only
robot.
but Glenn also had a physical job, right? Didn't he work on like the what type of work did he do? Didn't he worked on out of sea somewhere on a
Yeah,
pipeline or something?
no, let me check his job.
Because I thought he had like a physical job.
You
Because and
know,
why
the
does he
thing
want
is
to be a
that
rapper?
this Bell Collective, I just do not know what their husband's jobs are.
But he wants to be a rapper.
So remind me.
I'm like,
See your
oh my
food in the
goodness.
other side. Because I'm
I
sitting on
just
your chair. Calm down.
but one thing I do like is the fact that we do see LT because I cannot remember her name since I've been watching the other show and their names is so similar. And at first, actually, the way she speaks was so similar, except we just understand what she's saying. And I think that I like the fact that she's doing things. She's actually doing conferences that you could look up that are Googleable. You know what
But
I
she
mean?
needs to stop falling back on his dick.
She does. She has to get that new thing. When she move out, I'm telling
Whatever.
you, she gonna move out and hang
I
from the
doubt. I
chandelier.
doubt, because as the season progressed, she went back to him.
She
So
did. That didn't
it's
last
all
long though,
smokes and mirrors, all this anger.
because this is the first time that they moved. Remember, like all those years they had been together. So when she went to her mom's, was kind of like their first time moving out, and she only had a toe out. So she went from having the baby toe out to now she has that 1 foot out.
I feel like our fruits are still too in. I don't. That's what I'm
You're not
telling you.
buying it.
I don't believe when people are like, "Oh, I'm moving on," or "I'm breaking up with someone." I want to see the process. I want to
You
see
want to
you
see the
signing those
action.
divorce papers. I want to see you like when you tell me, "Oh, I'm leaving my man." I'm telling you, I've also said I'm leaving my man multiple times. So
Yeah, you definitely have to show action with that. And a person has to be ready. They can't
They
it
do.
can't be when you want them to. Just because you talk to them and tell them how they should leave or how bad the relationship is, or you're addressing what you see from the outside, that doesn't make them want to leave. That doesn't mean that they even care or see the same things.
Right.
So
Right.
until they're really ready, they're not going to change. They're
Yes.
not going to leave, and they're going to
yeah,
keep
because
taking it.
the way it happens is that they will treat you bad, then they will treat you really, really good, and then you would be hooked because you're like, oh, it treated me so good yesterday, so it will most likely treat me good today. It's a simple tactic.
So I have a question for you ladies. Do you all think it, and chat as well, do you all think that it's an amount of years that is too much for a couple to be together? like like 20 years, like, okay, so my fitness pal website, I met someone and we worked out in this group together, and she was dating this guy, and I remember telling her at the time I was old enough to be her big sister, like 10 years older, and I remember saying, like, your boyfriend, he is even too old for me, and I'm older than you, and I wouldn't even date anyone like that age. And he just like sucked the joy out of her, and
There is.
he made her
See,
promises he
I've
didn't
made this
keep.
comment several
Yeah,
times.
I feel like there
I can't date
definitely
a
is
guy
a
five
yeah
years
age
older
limit.
than me, 3 years younger than me.
You
That's
said
my
how many
limit.
years?
5 years older, 3 years younger. That's my limit.
Okay, 5 years older. Yeah, I say 5 to 7.
See, I was gonna
Ah,
say yeah,
five,
mine
even
mine
five
I
is
could I
pushing
could
it.
go maybe 10, maybe pushing it, just because you
That
listen.
is a whole nother generation. All right.
And
Well,
you're right,
but
because
I but
I
I
would have
cannot
said
go
that too.
younger. I can't do
I
younger
can
than me.
definitely
I've
go
done that, and
younger.
that is
Yeah.
not. Oh no, that is just
Yeah.
a no to the hell no.
But I'm gonna tell you, 10 years, I would have agreed with you if I wouldn't have told you all that my ex-husband was not 10 years older than me. I'd say that people that are in two different music decades should not date,
Exactly. It should
because you
not
will,
date.
yes, you will hear your songs and lose your mind, and they cannot comprehend because they're listening to the Flamingos. And I'm like, who are the Flamingos? I mean, I know who they are now, but you know what I mean?
I
You
guess
should,
that's like us dating somebody who listens to the Shy Lights. Like, you know what? Wait a second.
right, right. You should
You
be
know what?
like,
I just told my age because I damn it.
let me hear some house music and I'm ready to go to a house party, and it's like,
Right.
you should be in the same music, and
That's
I
actually
think
telling people. I
Latrice
can't
is,
date
how
somebody
does
that I have
Latrice,
to be overly respectful to.
right,
Sorry.
how does Latrice, ladies?
29.
She's
That's what
29,
she
and
says. That's what she says anyway.
okay,
So
because she
we must
gives
think
me
that's
about
right.
30. I would say, yeah, 30, no more than 30-ish, 30 something. And so if he's like 40 years older, oh, that is so disgusting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That's
That's no,
disgusting.
that's too much. That's 40 years older.
Yeah.
That's just way too much.
That's
Uh
older.
uh
That's older enough to be your daughter. That is really disgusting.
Old
That's why
enough
I
to
can't
be
date
her
younger.
granddad. That's what she
Yeah.
That's why I
calls
said
him
if
daddy.
he wants to leave Latrice, he would not find a daughter. He would get a granddaughter.
Yeah,
Cause
that's gross. That's
that's
really
nasty.
gross.
See, that's why I said I couldn't do younger because my kids, like our oldest is 21.
I can do
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah.
Three
No,
years
no, no,
younger
no.
is
That's
not that
nasty.
bad.
Right.
It's not. 3 years younger is not that bad.
Yeah, 3 years isn't that
Depending
bad. That's what I say.
depending on my age, it's because of my age. So if I go lower, I'll sound like a pedophile. So
Yeah, lower,
yeah,
yeah, you deal with the emotional intelligence and the maturity, and that gets different. you know, much younger.
Yeah, there has to be, some common ground. Like we have to have some things in common in order for it to actually fit right. That's just like the whole Marcus Houston marrying that 18-year-old girl. You are 40 years old and that girl was 18. What could you have in common with an 18-year-old? I don't
The
understand.
pedophile.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, what is your conversation? Your conversation is not, I mean, you think about it. You have to have intellectual conversation when you're out having dinner. And
She'll be
what is you're sitting at the
she'll be
table
thinking
talking
of
about what?
something else. Chanel bags, going out with her
Right.
friends. You'll be thinking of taking Viagra to keep it up with her. I really don't
I'm
get
telling you, because with that person I mentioned, she didn't even know he was taking Viagra until she was cleaning up one day. And she cleaned up in this one spot and she said she found all these bottles.
That's just sad.
But those are things that they may not share with someone that is 20
because
years
they can't
younger than
keep
them.
up.
Right. They want them to think they got it
At that
going on.
age, you're not supposed to be going for more than 2 minutes.
Right. They want them to think, hey, baby, I'm in there too.
But the thing that some men don't know is that the action of putting the penis in the van is not what really gets women going. It's the
Right.
foreplay.
Right.
They just think, oh, we're
Right.
gonna put our stuff inside and just like digging in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ew.
Dude,
I'm
what
just
are
thinking
you
about
doing?
Cliff.
Yeah, that's just gross.
Uh,
I mean, that is just, oh my gosh, in all ways. It's just, I'm telling you, she is not going to make it she is not going to be around when he's 75, 80 years old, you all. She is not.
Like, hey. I don't
mm-mm.
know how women kiss men that are very old.
No,
I keep imagining.
I can't even imagine. That's gross.
Ugh. Like,
So
ugh.
sincere for so
If my
long.
no, he has to take Viagra and some whole other stuff. Ugh.
Right. Green tea
Mm-mm.
supplements and all kinds of
He
things.
has to take 2 naps, drink some ginkgo biloba,
Right.
Geritol.
And
No, gotta put Bayer and Aspirin on his knees,
I was going to
his
say,
neck.
think about how Ben Gay
That's just too much.
smells. You all ever have to use like the
Right.
salon paws?
Alzheimer's is knocking at the
Yes.
door.
He smells like, he has those ailments. Because I know my dad has
Mm-mm.
those ailments. So,
Walk
when
around
you buy,
smelling like Vicks Vapor Rub.
yeah, no. You want
Like
them to smell like good
stale,
cologne.
those stale
Right.
stench.
Right. Some good cologne.
Yeah.
Not
Okay, so this
cologne over
person said
Bengay.
Latrice said he puts no money into her hair business. Why does she think she should stay with Cliff? She shouldn't
But she
leave
said he
while you're
invested. Don't
young.
you all remember in the first season he showed up at the
But now
meeting?
she's changing her mouth. What if he
Yeah.
borrowed her? What if he lent her the money and then he collected it back?
And that could have been the
Because he
case where
does
he
come
could have
across as that guy.
he does strike me as that type of person where he might have said that, and maybe that's why she's moving slower now, because whatever he promised her, he's not giving her. And so that would make sense as far as how she's moving slower now.
Right. This marriage could have really just been purely business and transactional, and she thought she was gonna get her a sugar daddy, and ended up with
Well, think
cliffhanger.
about it. He did help her because she said he did give her the idea. So if nothing else, he gave her the idea about the vending machines.
Oh, vending machines actually bring a lot of money.
Yeah, he gave her that idea. And so he did take her to a different way of thinking, and we could see, like, Stormy says that her and Latrice were friends. I don't believe they're really friends, but I
Yeah.
don't doubt that they know each other. I just don't think they're friends.
They know each other, like Kiki said.
Like,
You know
right,
of me.
like and you have to realize that word. Okay, so people from different states take that word differently. Like in the Midwest, when we say, I don't know her, That doesn't mean we haven't seen her. That doesn't mean we've never been any place that they've been. That means I don't know you like that. You're not,
Personally, yeah.
I know your name. I don't know. We haven't hung out because Nene, remember when she said she didn't know Phaedra? People really took that running, but different.
Personally, I'm like, come on.
It meant different. And Nene broke it down that same thing, and I understood because that's what it means here. Nene, you remember her mom was from, had lived in New York, and Nene said, "No, this means I don't know you. We haven't hung out together. Yeah, you may have older siblings that I know, but I don't know you."
At all. So she said, I hope she's not too afraid to leave with her business. Cliff can always find her. Cliff may have some talk like associates. I mean, the way he carries himself, like he's ready to bash her any minute.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
there's no sugar left. So we've been here for almost 2 hours.
I think Cliff is a cheater. I think he was a cheater. I think he was, how he used to threaten her when the show first came on about leaving her. I think he was, probably one that had his foot out the door before. But he who laughs, laughs last.
Yeah.
Right, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
And he gonna find himself with that Ben Gay laughing by himself. And he not gonna be able to get out of the woods because they live in the
He
woods.
gonna have
He
to
not
make his
gonna
own chamomile tea.
right. He not gonna be able to get out. Latrice, he gonna be calling her Latrice. And she gonna be gone.
Latrice, I can't see you, baby. I can't hear you. My vision,
Right.
my eyes.
And she gonna be, I'm
I
at the
can't hear
Please.
you.
bar.
I'm about to
Yeah.
come find you. Wait a minute. I need to hire my grandkids to help
Cause
me. Let me
Because you
see.
know how Diary of a Mad Black Woman ended.
Woo. I feel
Yes,
Tambra
honey.
will definitely catch up with Cliff one way or the other. Maybe we have Alzheimer's or dementia or something. Because I don't like the way she's treating Latrice. She may not be my girl, she may not be my fave, but it's just really sad to see such a beautiful woman waste her life.
All right. I just
Maybe
hope she wakes up.
Latrice sister cycle will help her.
I think
I mean,
so
the sister
too.
circle have been there, but they didn't help her since.
I believe Donna D. What Donna D says. I think
Latrice
eventually
is
she
the
will.
only one that can make herself leave.
Yeah, that will make her, but that help because remember, my friend said it was when I said that, and she still remembers this. And I told her that in the 90s, and she still remembers this to this day. And she didn't stay with him long after that. It was just my question of why do you think you should? It was not, I didn't tell her to leave. I didn't give her any relationship advice other than me asking that question that made her ask herself that question.
Maybe, but I'm not putting out
Sometimes
too
that
much
that
faith.
is that's
So,
what it is.
guys,
We have to ask ourselves.
let's wrap it up.
So who is your favorite? Who do you like?
The women are putting my hands
Hi,
down. They're
Angie.
disappointing
Hey,
me.
Angie Butterfly, my
Angie.
love.
They
Amazing
are
Angie.
disappointing. I think for now, I like, wow, I can't think of anybody.
Right now, I think some grandbabies
Because I think
about
they
the
are going to
closest one.
disappoint me as the season goes by.
Yeah, not that I really like. I mean, yeah, not that I really like. Like, I mean, I guess I kind of like all of them for the most part in some way of what they're doing maybe. Like Tambra, I watched her on this show, with with some other hosts. So I like her just based on me, we're seeing her on
But she
something
needs
else.
to tone the
I think
line
Aikisha
down.
kind of
She
is
she
like
won't
my fave
sing
right now
if she
just because
doesn't
she ain't in a
lie.
mess.
Tambra won't die if she doesn't lie. So she
Yeah.
needs
Yeah,
to tone it
Tambra,
Whew.
down.
she needs to
Yeah.
come on being showing she needs to show herself.
Tambra lies when she's quiet.
Yeah.
That's just how much she lies. That's
But do you all think it's because she's a personality?
No, I think she's just a
Yeah,
habitual liar. I
just
think
the
that's
way
just
she
her.
Like, like those radio personalities that she doesn't
she
really
doesn't have I think she has gotten to the stage where she cannot show herself, and she has gotten so used to being a personality on air that
right.
she, how would I put it, she doesn't have a real personality.
Right, exactly. Because I don't think that they can be themselves. They have to be hyped like all the time. Because, yeah, because
But
I
that's
tell
But
you,
that don't
the
mean you have to be a liar in your real life, though.
yeah, yeah, you know what? And yeah, definitely not. But I don't know, like her real friends may say something different. But as far as her, self that we see, we definitely don't see authentic.
I don't get that either because they always say, well, if you really get to know me, well, show us the real you. If you are on reality TV and you're giving us what we see, then that's what we know.
Well, people think that people like, I mean, I'll tell you now, I'm not like a fan of Sheree, but people always think about her. But what has she ever told any seasons about herself? First season, second season, she had her mom
just
on the
looking for
show
a
and her
man.
sister, I mean, her daughter, and she never even introduced them. And each guy has been fake. And,
That's
she
why
said
she gets fired every year.
yeah, she said she was a designer, yet we haven't seen her design anything. She hasn't told us about
She's
when she used to.
designing a man. She's designing Mattel to look good. I mean, she's working hard.
And he is making her look like a fool.
But she doesn't care. She does a good enough job herself. So she has that down to science. She really does not. And that's the one thing that Carlos did say that I do believe. He said she does not care about how she looks. And it is obvious to we the people that she does not care.
This person said Tambra needs psychiatry help because the lies is way too much. Like, oh,
Yeah.
100%. You guys like Latrice?
Actually, I do
I'm
like
indifferent.
Latrice.
I just like her confessionals because she gives it hot. But
Yeah.
I wish her confessionals is how she is in real life. I do get it that some people are more confident when they are away from people and then they can
Yeah.
speak their mind. But you need to learn to speak your mind in public. I am, as I said, I'm extrovert, introvert, depending on the case. But
Yeah.
I try so hard to speak my mind. It can be quiet when you are somewhere new or you are not friends with people, it's quite hard to speak your mind, especially when you're in a toxic situation. So once you speak your mind once, you realize how easy it is. So she needs to speak her mind once to Cliff. And I think that's the problem with Cliff.
Okay,
She
I'm
has
gonna take up
never
for
spoken her mind.
Latrice. Latrice is on the show with all these mature women. So, they all have strong personalities. They are all a lot to deal with. So, but I do kind of, Angie, I do kind of like Latrice. She wouldn't be my friend, but I do kind of like her. But I think I like her because I feel sorry for her. And I don't like typically just feel sorry for people, but I do feel sorry for her.
I think that's where I'm at with her too. I want to see the best for her. I want to see her
Yeah.
succeed. I want to see her get out of that abusive marriage. And I feel like once that happens, I feel like Latrice actually might have some, a lot more
Yeah.
personality to herself.
Because this is a black
Mm-hmm.
woman that started a business that we can actually see that is doing well, and not like what we saw in this other show where Melody is the only person that is started has started a business, rebuilt, and is doing well. I mean, she is someone that actually did the work, sold out of her car, and made a life of it.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
like
So
to see
I
more.
right. I would definitely like to see her win and come out of this whole situation too. That's what I'd like to see from Latrice.
Yeah. So, ladies, I'm inviting you. So, did you guys see what happened yesterday night between the whole baseball player and the side chick sort of thing? This is
Is
no,
it
let me
a
tell
new
you,
one
did
or
not
is it the
see
same guy?
Tim Anderson, the same guy.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want
I
to
didn't
talk,
see what
but it's not
happened, but
like
what
I'm talking
happened?
on him. I want to talk about side chicks in general. So it's like I want to start like a podcast kind of thing. I don't know, I'm deciding whether I should do it on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday. But I feel like a Wednesday is better because everybody is free.
Yeah. What about confessions of a side chick? Has some
Listen, side
people,
chick summer. It is gonna be a side chick summer.
because you know what,
So
to hear
I
the
want I want
psychology behind their thought would be kind of interesting as to what were you really thinking, where did you
yeah,
really like, but I asked myself that though with even slow slaw, like at this point he's not married anymore, and what are you thinking, like, do you really think he's going to come back to you?
yeah. So I wanted to
If
invite you
he was
guys because
never
I felt
really there,
like
yeah.
yeah, it was never there actually.
No.
I felt like I wanted to invite you guys because I like the way we vibe.
Yes.
It's
Wait,
going
and I was going to say something to you, Miss 10K, with the one sleeve on. You have a Barry White back there in the background too.
what?
Are you going to meet you a Barry White sounding voice with that
I'm
one sleeve,
single.
sexy shoulder,
I'm
giving us
don't worry.
shoulder action?
I'm going to show you my man very soon. But right now we are single.
She's giving us cold shoulder on that one arm, and she's getting ready to
Right.
step out.
Okay then. But you looking good though. I will say that, girl.
She
You looking real
is.
good.
Thank you. So Wednesday, same time, 3 p.m. Yes.
Wednesday.
I'm with it. I'm definitely with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you
Wednesday.
have an Instagram, maybe we'll chat on Instagram, then get the whole thing set up.
I do not. I'm just setting up because was so much on Twitter that I was just not, and I just started building a profile, and I'm like, now how could I be so good with technology? And
Now Instagram is shit. I just use it to like talk to people. To be honest, I'm not really there.
you didn't realize that Latrice was the one who brought Soguchi on the
Now that
show.
was very rude. I hate
Yeah.
when someone says, "Oh, I brought you into the show,"
Yeah, but you know what? Okay, so I'm a loyalty. Okay, so I'm a Taurus. We're into loyalty. I'm a loyalty
but she
person.
was not loyal either. If we're looking at it, y- we
Right.
already discussed it, but I
I
was
do,
supposed to be a realtor.
but I
You
do
found
feel like,
someone else. She could have just texted her that I am using another agent. That was
yeah.
not
Oh
too
yeah, that.
much.
But I mean, that brought you into the show, like what D-
That was the same thing
Donati is
that this
saying.
girl said in Love and Marriage DC, and people came at her. So we're not
Yeah.
going to change it. If people are going to come for what's her name, for saying that to Joy, the people should do the same for Latrice because the only reason why people do make this statement is if they purposely want to hurt you. It's
Yeah,
unnecessary
but
to say that.
do you think though that if someone, let's say someone gets you this job that you've always wanted, so do
You don't
you,
need to remind
yeah,
me.
do you think that they deserve some type of loyalty with like a gratitude, like,
But there's no loyalty amongst them. That's what I'm saying. You can't use that as
Yeah,
a
you had to
jab
have gone into
when
that with
you were the
that.
first person who did me bad.
yeah,
Yes, so Gucci was not professional by not doing her
no,
job,
oh
but
no,
you could have just reached out
yeah,
and be
she
like,
should have,
I am closing this with somebody else.
right, yeah, that would have been a professional thing to do, but
Communication
but
is
she
But
not
doesn't have
key with
anyways,
these
all is
communication
ladies.
fair in love
skills,
and war. All is fair.
because
I'm just preaching here. To be honest, if I was the one, I would have said it.
oh no, I agree, because she does not have communication skills, because just think how she communicates with her husband, so we know that she definitely lacks, but hopefully as she
Does she
matures,
even communicate?
she does in person, one-on-one, with that mirror, with that camera. We have a good conversation. I used to have a good conversation with the mirror.
There is no.
Right. That's the closest
That's the
communication
last.
she's
That's
getting.
where we start. It starts with the mirror. Us ladies know. Look how we told
They've been
ourselves.
married for how many years? Girl, she can't even say anything to her husband.
That's
That's
because she
not
was only what,
communication.
19 or 20? How old was she when they got
Thank
married? Like,
you.
she
I
was,
can't remember. But when we look at it, this it seems almost like he grooms this girl. Like
oh
he,
yeah,
because obviously they would have had conversations before she got legal and then married her. That's why she stunted in her relationships.
correct. Because how do you pick someone the age of your children? Or that may be younger than your children. I mean, that's just disgusting. Ooh. Every time I say it, it just ooh.
Granddaughter, let's get it right.
Yeah,
Granddaughter,
like my
not
grandfather.
daughter.
Yeah, like
Mm-mm.
yeah, no.
Sheree and Mattel are performing
That
a
is
business
nasty.
transaction. Mattel can't seem to wait until it's over though. It's
He
quite
does
apparent.
exactly. And when
It's quite
people
apparent.
say, "No, I want to know what Donati thinks." Donati, do you think that they slept together? I know people say they have. I don't
Oh
think
come
Martell has slept
on.
with her one
With the
time.
with the
He
little
looks
kids that she was
disgusted.
leaving,
Yes.
please,
He bobs and weaves when she goes in for a kiss.
please. It was so obvious.
Do you think Belinda's a real story?
It is. Oh, I wanted to actually drop a video about it because it's this
But
girl, she's a
but
liar.
you
She's a
yeah.
liar.
Yeah.
She practically DM'd herself or someone DM'd her and she started saying, oh my
Right.
God, I didn't know what's going on with Mattel now.
Yeah, she knew what was going. I mean, what does JJ always say? Gosh darn, she knew what was going. Gosh darn, she knew
If
what was
you say
going
my
on.
God down one more time, I'm going to enter my screen and punch.
Gosh darn, she knew the gosh darn situation. Gosh darn,
That is his work. Gosh darn.
Because wasn't she
gosh darn,
there
He was
when
gosh
they were
darn
fighting
at
with
gosh
everything.
Monica?
darn,
Please,
gosh
the
darn.
lies. She needs to stop with the lies. Because when I saw that DM, I was like, damn.
Yeah, do you think that's because of her podcast? Because she knows that women won't listen to her? I mean, because
Yeah,
how
because people were
credible are you
coming
going to
at her.
seem?
Why would you post someone else's child?
On Mother's
Yeah, she's
Day.
definitely trying to do damage control. With her.
I felt like, honestly, I
Again,
think
I feel like that's Martell. I feel like he has something to do with that whole thing.
I think it was
'Cause
her
I don't see
business.
Belinda just like posting pictures.
Oh, well, she had to do it.
Not a boss baby like that.
She did it. Because think about it. She could have once she saw it on her Instagram, if she didn't want it, she could have deleted it. She put that on there. She was trying to make she, sometimes, how you learn a person based on their actions. She's not as, as she seems, because that was deliberate. That was to make Sheree look
Because
crazy.
the way she was acting, like, let me even read the DMs before we end this live.
Okay.
So, how am I going to contact you, Succeed? Do you have
Okay.
my
I'm gonna
create
send.
an Instagram for
I'm gonna
crying out
send it
loud?
in chat.
Create an Instagram. So she's like, wow, I really don't want to be put in the middle of their stuff. I pray for Mel's safety and sanity through all this. I also hope he also doesn't what is it? He hasn't done anything like that to hurt the mother of his children. That would be terrible because I know what that feels like, sadly. I just wish our men did a better job.
Yeah. But isn't she trying to do a show that she's giving advice to women?
Yeah.
So how
But
do
you're
you
posting
give
someone
advice?
else's child.
And how do you do that when you're dating a Martell? You see what I mean? So yeah, I would deny him too. Deny and lie. It wasn't, how they say men will say it wasn't me? You could see their face and they'll say jokingly, like those comedians, they'll still say it wasn't me. I would say it wasn't me too if I was her. I would not would any of us want to be associated? Well, none of us would even have given him a time of day anyway. But if okay, well, we can't say if we were stupid because none of us are, so we can't even imagine that. So I guess but I could understand now her saying, not wanting to be associated with him. And now, how does she say why she brought land with someone that she was not associated with and
She
did an
didn't speak
illegal,
on that.
correct, and did an illegal practice, because she doesn't, she doesn't expect us to, remember that part.
It's deliberate.
She did it deliberately. She
For
posted
us to
that picture.
remember.
She posted it to hurt Melanie, because she knew he was still trying to get with her. So she posted that picture deliberately to throw darts at her, to throw darts at Sheree, and to throw darts at Coleslaw and anybody else that may be in the woods.
It's quite obvious. Funny thing, I actually wanted to come live this
Hurt
week to talk
Mel.
about
He
it, but I was
knew
like,
that he couldn't.
damn, I'm tired. The drama was too much. I didn't know why.
Every time I'm like, I'm gonna go live, there's something that happens. Yeah, it's
Gigi
just
kept
more and
saying she's
more. So
going
I'm
to go
definitely gonna have to
live
do a live about it
since
because
like the kingdom come.
It's been so much
So
crazy
right, I'm
stuff
like, you know what?
lately.
I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live. And it's like more and more. It's just so much, and it just keeps happening. And then this stuff
It
with
does.
Marcel and Letitia now. It's just
You could not buy this stuff.
it's
Like,
just
what is
so
going
much.
on? Like with these
This
hairdressers.
right here is a show all itself.
Are you doing something on
This is
hairdressers,
what we.
doctor?
What them starting their own new products? How
No, the
everybody's
I sent you
want
hairdressers.
to be
coming.
start products now?
Are you doing something about the hairdressers that allegedly is some kind of action about? Allegedly, doctor? Oh, you're muted.
The one with Marcel.
The one with yes, with Marcel. Yeah, the one with
Mm.
Marcel.
Now this is my question. Is that who Alonda is? Is Alonda the hairdresser,
Okay,
or is
not
this
that
somebody
one. It's
completely
supposed to be
different?
another hairdresser. It's supposed to be, her name starts with a J, allegedly.
Oh,
Yeah,
because I actually have
it's
some
another
text
hairdresser.
messages from Ariane and her, and between her and Martell trying to get Ariane to tell on Marcel and trying to have the other girls come out about their relationship with Marcel.
I know he's trying to get Marceau out. He's trying to air him out. Now, why won't she?
Well, if the girls won't come out because basically Marcel done paid them off, or whatever arrangement they have with him is so good that they're afraid to come out right
I
now.
think something has come
So
out already.
it's the women.
I think something
It's
has
coming
come
out
out.
more and more,
It's
but
coming
not
out
all
in the
of it.
next week. It's gonna come out in the next week.
Well, did y'all?
Because some people been
I
talking
feel like
about.
him and
Have you been hearing that, doctor, in the streets? People talking about the hairdresser with Marceau. People been talking about it in the YouTube
It
streets.
definitely actually happened, and it's quite obvious that he paid that off. It's quite obvious he paid that off.
He's not gonna be able to hide it. His dirt is gonna come out.
And the fact that Letitia is trying to create a drama that this girl is cheating, Tiffany. What time does she have to cheat? I know that she cheated in her previous
Yeah.
relationship, but
Yeah,
one
Tiffany
complaint
is.
that
Yeah,
this
that's
guy
crazy.
always had was that she was always working.
But they need to come up with some new material, because isn't that kind of like the same thing like with Melly? Oh, you cheated
how
too.
is it that everybody?
Martell, you cheated too. Like Sheree. Like, of all the
Yeah,
things, well, Sheree lacks intelligence anyway, but she's like, oh, well, you cheated too. That's the most that she could say
That's
with
not a
Tiffany.
comeback. I know I cheated. You don't need to
Yeah,
tell me. I
right,
just asked you how you felt. Why did you feel attacked?
right. Like, I mean, and Tiffany was being messy, but we're watching. People didn't like that, but we're watching reality TV, and that's what they do on reality TV is they have someone to say something messy. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, did Sheree really think she was gonna get on there and nobody not attack her?
That's just crazy.
You supposed to
Melody
be a
has
Real
so
Housewife
much
of
evidence
Atlanta.
for her lawyers
Right. Just like,
to give
did
her.
Martell think that nobody was
Yeah,
gonna attack him on
and
Real Housewives of
I think
Atlanta?
the reason, yeah, the reason
Right.
why Mel has not gone for full custody is because she thinks the children needs like a father figure.
Yes. She doesn't want them to have, because she didn't have her dad growing up in the house with her,
So
and
she wants
she
that.
doesn't want that. And then she sees what his results have been with him not having his father and not having his mother in
Martel's
the house.
family, terrible. In jail, an
Yeah,
alcoholic.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
So guys, let's end this year. We've gone past what we even wanted,
Okay, but do you all
but it's
mind if I
fun.
ask you one more unrelated question? And I just
Okay, you can
want
go
you
on.
you all just to tell me, what do you all really think with those hair products? Do you all think, I mean, because we haven't heard of any scientists, anyone that Tisha has been working on to
I
formulate
think
this product?
the promo was terrible. I said this on someone else's live yesterday. The promo was terrible. I'm not going to beat her on the fact that she wanted to do something, but the promo is terrible. It was yesterday I found out
And
that
she
it
used
was
the
coming out
same wording
yesterday.
as Stormy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it's her own product, or do you think she slapped her label on a product?
Most likely slapped that label.
I was about to say, I think she slapped her name on something. I don't think it's
Yeah.
hers. Just like they did the chocolate in the bottle. Chocolate in the bottle is not theirs. They are just the
Correct.
ambassadors for it.
Correct. They're one of
So I
many.
feel like that's what happened with that.
Yeah.
But I wish
And,
them
well, why
well.
did she have to come
Yeah,
up
that's
with this?
definitely not theirs.
That is, I complain that they are all bringing products in the same industry, and you have like a little amount of fan base. So the fan base is going to like buy from every single person. Nobody has that kind of money in this economy.
Yeah. And they don't, and they're not charging small amounts for their hair products either. I mean, it's just
Mm-mm.
like, I mean, not that, like, I haven't really, I mean, I haven't been like Target for a while. Like, but I see like Mael in this area. I see Mael everywhere. That's what I see.
That's what I even use because I'm growing back my hair. Although I'm going to cut it off
You use
because
Mael? Did you get
I
the
did
text
some.
for the $7 sale?
They are doing a sale. I already bought my products.
You
And
know, they are always marketing, but they had sent they had a $7 sale.
because I buy in bulk, that's my problem. So I don't buy once because I really don't like waiting till my product like finishes before I start buying. I find that to be quite strenuous. I don't want to wake up morning want to like apply something and I don't see any product.
I remember when Monique started that business, like when it was new. We had a women's conference, because I know her from church. We had a women's conference in 2016, and she came with her team, and it just started really kind of getting into it in 2016.
I'm actually proud of her. She has done well.
She
Whatever she
has.
felt like was good for the
Yeah,
business.
very
I
well.
I don't
I
know
mean,
if I'm going to keep using it from
yeah.
next
Yeah,
year.
because
I don't
things
know.
change for us, but you know how and this is what I wanted to ask you all about these tea comments, because okay, so Monique presents herself. I'm glad you brought that up. She presents herself, the way that she shows herself is always as a professional. She could go to any function, she could be invited, and you could feel comfortable having her as a speaker. The fact that
You can't have Stormy.
they had that tea that was very nice, that a lot of fans were very excited about it and wanted to know more about the person that ran the tea, and wanted to have their daughters and their
Exactly. Because I
nieces.
thought it was nice
And for Stormy to
to
say,
call
"Oh,
it
I'm all right, I didn't like
Mary
nothing about it,
Poppins,
I'm Hennessy,"
Compass.
does that say that you want to stay in the exact same place that you are? Because how do you position yourself to be able to be in boardrooms, to be able to go to
She
different
definitely is not the
levels?
one during those board meetings. I doubt. With the
No,
way she
she.
cusses,
Mm-mm.
hell no. Probably her husband.
That's yeah, that's true. With I believe that true. That some men are toxic for their children's life.
Yeah,
I I don't know if they're the children though. The children don't see that yet in their
They
minds.
don't
They
because they
just
want their
yeah,
father.
they just want their father. That's the sad. But when they get old enough, the good part is that they're old enough then to make their decision, and I think their decision will then be different.
Yeah. So guys, that's all for it tonight. I already sent you an email. So I'll talk to
Okay.
Gigi on Instagram. Well, I'll talk to you on via
yep,
email. That's weird.
sounds good.
But we'll make a time for the whole podcast.
Have fun on your date, doctor.
I'm not actually going out. I came back.
Next time
So
she gonna have a voice. We're gonna say, "Oh, is that a Barry White voice?"
Right, you're gonna have you a very white
She gonna
voice,
have her
so
Barry
we are
White too.
hoping. So see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit the hit the like button,
I liked from two
like the
different
video.
devices.
So hit the like, subscribe to a Tea with Gigi Nan, and subscribe to my channel. Drop your
And so,
comments.
congratulations. We are so excited
Thank
for
you.
you 10.2.
definitely
What
congratulations on
thing?
that
I
When
didn't
did
10K.
I get?
I
When did I
didn't see
get
it.
so
Did you
busy
announce it
that
that you were 10?
funny enough,
I
I
didn't
don't.
see an announcement on it. You know, you're
I
supposed to
was
announce it.
working. I was working. Maybe I'll do an announcement.
Have you ever been on
Men?
panel? Mims panel? Make it make sense?
Nah.
You have to join one day. Yeah, but yeah, you didn't announce it. I just saw it today. I just hadn't, and I don't look at people's numbers. It just showed me that you were 10 point because you know, you have to watch YouTube because it will unsubscribe you because I'm subscribed on two devices. So depending upon what device I'm using, and suddenly I was not subscribed. And then when I went to subscribe, I said, "Oh, 10.2."
Wow. So I've been noticing that people have been saying their subscribers have been dropped. Maybe because I'm not really bothered about this subscription because I have another job. So I'm not
Okay.
really bothered.
Well, congratulations.
But
It's
maybe
been
I
great,
should do
ladies.
a
You all
10K
have a great one.
celebration. So thank you guys for joining. So see, thank you, Gigi Nan. Subscribe to our Queen's Tea
Yes,
with
I
Gigi
will.
Nan. We'll be here tomorrow,
Thank
same
you.
time, 3 p.m. talking about love and marriage Huntsville. I know that's why you guys followed me, obviously. That's why we have many people here. We'll be talking about
Yes.
love and marriage Huntsville.
I'm glad
And
you
on
talked
Monday,
about Belle Collective.
yeah, I feel like most people don't really talk about it, but this is more, I wish it gets the amount of like traction that love and marriage Hunts because it does have storylines that women can relate to. And that's that.
Okay. I just subscribed to your channel.
Thank you.
I'll
All
subscribe from
right.
two
And
devices.
also,
Okay,
Bye
ladies.
guys.
You all enjoyed
thank you.
you and Mr. Barry White sound and voice have a good time this weekend.
Thank you. Me and
Tell
Mr.
him
Barry
your
White will
sisters.
definitely, we're
Tell your
actually on
man
the
we're
road right
missing
now.
him.
Yes.
That we would love to see him next
Yes, tell
time.
him your sister said to take you out and make breakfast for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
He
Lay you
actually
down
does.
on
We're actually
him.
on the road right now. He's taking me out right now. So,
Oh, see there? He's already taking our advice.
yes. So I will definitely let him know next time you guys need to see him and hear him. We're actually going to start doing videos together as well. So you guys are actually going to be able
Yes,
to
so
see us
that
interact. So
we can
Awesome.
do like a
yeah,
couple, as
Yeah.
I'm the single person here. Maybe
Give us a marital perspective of things.
Yes, and actually, our marriage is completely different, and so yeah, a lot of people would. It's encouraging because
Yeah. So he could
going
give
to
us
staff
that.
separately.
He could give us that guy's perspective. You know.
With the
Yes,
baritone voice.
with the
Yeah.
Barry White,
Right. He just talks, and everybody's gonna be like,
right? Just he just talks, and everybody just listens just because he sounds
right.
like
They'll
Barry
just
White.
listen.
Like,
Because you know what? It's something, I don't know what it is. It's something about sometimes when men talk. Because I gave my friend some advice. I said these exact words. My best guy friend said the exact words. She acted like he was a
And don't
darn
listen
genius.
to the person.
Yes,
yeah,
getting
it's
caught up
something
in
about
that
their
voice.
voices. Yep, you can say the
Okay,
same
well,
thing, but that voice, yes. But
yep.
I love
Okay,
you,
you all
ladies,
enjoy.
and I will see you, ladies. Have a blessed
All
day.
right,
Okay, bye bye.
bye.
Bye, everyone.